Jennian Homes have been proudly building the homes New Zealanders love for over 35 years and encouraging youth to achieve their hopes and dreams. Jennian Homes is proud to partner with the New Zealand Olympic Games team.
Afternoon coverage of the final day of the Jennian Homes New Zealand Track and Field Championship. And there you see the pole vault and the triple jump, which will feature strongly in the opening portion of this second session, day 2. The women's triple jump field has just been introduced to the crowd here at the Hawke's Bay Regional Sports Park. Got the senior women's discus, senior men's pole vault, women's high jump final. And then, of course, we finish it off with the blue ribbon event, 1,500 metres. There we see Alessandra McDonald of Waikato Bay of Plenty as we get set for the first round. Oh, there is that field that we've just alluded to there. McDonald, Zmagalova, Anna Thompson, who's been in very good form. Lara Hockley winning the under-20s yesterday and doing a personal best at the same time. Sorry, a season's best, I should say, at the same time. So that'll be one to keep an eye out for, but it is a very, very strong field that has been assembled in the women's triple jump. Sorry, confirming it was a PB for Lara Hockley yesterday of 11.64, but the person who has been in very good form, Hayden Sherman, Anna Thompson, 12.86 at the Sir Graham Douglas meet, matter of just over a month ago. And also as well, Diana Zmagalova, who jumped 12.15 at that very same event. Person who's got the 4th distance in terms of the 2021 season, well, it's the veteran. It is Sarah Cowley-Ross with just over 12. That was at an open meet and base in Waikato not too long ago. But here we see Zmagalova getting ready for her first jump. McDonald with 10.66. We see her on the runway. Zmagalova to generate pace.
Yeah, Diana looked really good at the Sir Graham Douglas meet where she got second behind Anna Thompson, which, like you say, Anna's just been unbeatable this season. She's had 4 wins on the trot at all the classics around the country, which is your sort of top-tier series as we build up towards the national champs domestically. So Anna Thompson really ahead of the pack with a 12.80 jump at her best this season. And then you go all the way back 70 centimetres to Diana Zmagalova's 12.11, her best. And, yeah, what can Sarah Cowley-Ross do? Last year, she produced a 12.66, so right up there in the midst of it. The reigning champion, of course, Kayla Goodwin, over on scholarship in the States.
And jumping well. We saw just a matter as we were looking through doing our research just prior to this. She put in a 12.5 metre leap in Topeka in an MIAA event. She's in a Division 2 school, Central Missouri. So good to see Kayla, who again is a wonderful all-round athlete again, great heptathlete. Good to see her doing well on the field. I'm sure she'll be equally as diligent in the classroom as well from what we know of her from her time in the Waikato Bay of Plenty area. But this is the dominant force, as Hayden Sherman, providing the expert analysis for us, has alluded to with regards to women's triple jumping over this track and field summer around Aotearoa.
Have a look at this technique. Really beautiful. Maintains that momentum through each of the 3 phases. And that's what we often look for. We don't want to see any compression of the body in each of those phases. We want to make sure they're hitting them like a loaded spring and not allowing too much sort of absorption of force, but actually using that force to propel you forward. And look at that ability to maintain the momentum. And she's had a great season, and she'd love to put the icing on the cake here.
Well, I wasn't sure if I saw the red flag go up or not, but it appears that it has. So that is a foul. It's a great example, as you point out, of the technique required in the triple jump. I thought she'd really nailed the board on that one there, but she must have just got the toe over. Now, they're measuring anyway here. I wonder if this over. Let's have a look at this. You'll just see a foot placement. I thought this is right on. Look at that. Gee, that's tight.
Doesn't leave much margin for error. And then, of course, that's what you want. You want to leave about a centimetre on the runway if you can. But it does mean it gets awfully close to getting that red flag. Potentially they're measuring it under protest or, I'm not sure.
Well, as Hayden has explained throughout the course of the opening day and a half, on the stop board, the board that they are hit, there is a little bit of plasticine. So if they did go over, they would be looking for the likes of a spike mark or a tread pattern, something like that there. So clearly the official who put the red flag up must have seen that there. It looked as though she was absolutely bang on. Of course, they try so hard to make sure that they are as close to as humanly possible.
So we've got an X next to her name on our scoring sheet, so we assume that was a foul jump, but it looked good. So Anna Thompson is definitely looking like she's carrying on that same sort of fitness that has kept her at the top of the leaderboard in women's triple jumping this season. And if you've just tuned into the coverage today, we've got beautiful sunshine, as you can see. This day started pretty misty and foggy, and we're just pointing out
that's the reason why she was challenging it, Hayden Sherman. 13.08. That's why she was wanting that challenge and measured.
That would be a season's best. I'm just going to search and see if that would be a personal best for Anna.
Well, it's easily a season's best if that is part of it. She jumped that 12.86 at the Sir Graham Douglas, so that would be a season's best. There is no notification beside it to say that it is under protest at the moment as Hayden works the way through his raft of spreadsheets and progressions for each of our athletes there. But
that'll be a personal best. So her best previously was set back in 2018 here at this ground, 12.94. Now that was with a 1.9 wind, so we'll need to see what the wind reading was in order for that to be a personal best. But as far as the competition goes, that just lays it down right from the start. Like, come on, ladies, you're going to have to do a personal best by a long margin in order to catch me. I've been uncatchable all season long, and good luck catching me now. Amazing.
Now, interesting here, they're actually, looks as though they are changing the board. So
yeah, no, that would suggest that someone's stepped on it and they just need to roll it out.
Well, just interesting again, this comes down to, so this is the side-on angle here of Thompson, slowing it right down. This is great stuff we're getting here from our team at the stream shop. Let's have a look as she plants. Oh,
just behind the marshal there, so we don't get a great view of it.
Gee, a great view, though, of the jump. Wonderful. She works her way through. Again, this is the end on. Just watch as she plants. Here it comes. Gee, it's hard to see. That really is so close. So the mark at the moment stands now. It's now down to 13.03. So 13 metres, 3 centimetres. There's been another adjustment on our scoring sheets that have just come through. But either way, personal best. There's just a wee bit of a delay at the moment as they make some changes. Looks like they've put a new board in place as the official gets himself set. A little bit of a break for Lara Hockley to have to deal with. Lara coming off winning the under-20 triple jump yesterday and jumping a personal best of 11.64 for Lara. And you wonder whether, getting up and mixing and mingling with the senior athletes and getting to rub shoulders with the likes of Anna Thompson and Jana Winsey and Sarah Cowley-Ross, Lena Dennison, whether that will help her, maybe spur her on a little bit more too. We've seen them behind the senior men pole vault getting ready for the start of their competition, which isn't too far away. It's slated to get underway around about 1:30. Etienne Dupré, Nick Southgate, Max Atwell, Joshua Ball, Charlie Cameron and Jared Neighbours. And that particular competition, I continue to ask the question there with regards to the triple jump. So just a short delay on that particular event. Here you see some of the warm-up throws in the discus, the senior women's discus, which will get underway very shortly. It's set to go at 1:10. A great afternoon for you. We saw some fine hurdling. We've also got the 200 metres finals this afternoon and the 1500 metres. Camille Buscombe will be looking to try and add a second national title for the weekend, third in the 800. Won the 5,000 metres in the canter last night as we expected, and was feeling pretty good about that. She kind of knew a little bit with the 800 was going to be the main challenge for her, and she got beaten in a fine race. Catherine Camp defeating her, Rebecca Green in second, but a nice wee challenge for her. 1,500 metres, I think that'll be another cracking race this afternoon as well.
It will be great, and the men's looks to be thrilling as well, as it always is. The 1,500, one of the key events to watch. You never know how it's going to unfold, whether it's going to be quick from the gun or a slow tactical race. A couple of years ago, we had an absolute jog fest with athletes running out in lane 4, lane 5 in the first lap with the pace just crawling along. But that's one of the beauties of the event that makes it so exciting to watch.
You can see just by just behind the official there, just walking around, that is the elder stateswoman of the triple jump. That is Sarah Cowley-Ross, and here is one of the real up-and-comers. And Lara Hockley, the under-20 champion yesterday, 11.64, a personal best yesterday. It's a legal throw. White flag goes up. See Max Atwell in the background getting ready for the senior pole vault. There is Hockley. Nice performance by her yesterday. And winning that under-20s, and now gets the opportunity to be part of the senior final the following day. As we wait for her scoring to come on through. Here are our officials and volunteers doing a great job. Absolute army of human beings that give their time for the betterment of the sport. Here's the 400-metre wheelchair final. Sarah James and Montana Brown. A couple of Cantabrians will do battle in that. Jaden Mulville of Auckland. And we'll see those athletes all on at the same time. Here is Katie Lee Roper. Now, Lara Hockley. I think that's an 11.08 for Lara. Just getting confirmation of that very shortly. So Katie Lee Roper with a foul, so a no jump for her. And just confirmation now, 11.08 for Lara Hockley on that previous leap. So you see there,
you've got three athletes lining up in this one. Not sure who our Otago athlete is out on the outside.
That's actually Jaden Mulville of
right.
Auckland. So it is the 400 metres for the para-athletes, but they will run the men's and the women's at the same time. Here's Jane Nwanzi out of Auckland City with her first jump in the triple jump. So it's Sarah James. She is bib number 242 in the 400 metres para. Montana Brown, another Cantabrian, 222. And then there's a gap, and then the outside lane, it is Jaden Mulville, the men's 400 metre para participant. So you see them?
The challenging thing about this event is, of course, you've got to stay in your lanes, which is hard enough when you're running full speed, but when you've got a wheelchair to work, now you don't have a handlebar to work with. You've just got to set the wheel at the right angle as you go around those corners. So you need to stay in your lanes as you do any 400 metre race, but it's one of the real technical challenges for these athletes to not only power themselves as fast as they can, but also make sure they stay inside those white lines. So here we go, the final of the senior women's and the senior men's wheelchair 400 metres.
So that is Jaden Mulvol. He's had a very good, and there you just see, you saw him reaching ahead. He just makes that adjustment, trying to keep himself in the lane.
And that was just mid-turn as well, so just making that adjustment to make sure he stays in, like you say.
Great power you see from Jaden, making sure again there's another adjustment, trying to stay in that lane. So Jaden, the only male competitor, and then it is Sarah James and Montana Brown, and Sarah has just got past Montana as they head down the back straight, but Jaden, they're making the adjustments coming around that top bend. And then he'll have the advantage of that wind at his back as he comes whistling down the home straight. Again, another quick adjustment.
Yeah, doing well just to stay inside the lines. You can see how challenging it is as he tries to exert as much power as he possibly can into those wheels, head down, and now it's just a straight run home. Like you say, tailwind at his back, rolling on through to the finish line. He's going to be the first finisher and will obviously take the title in the male race. But let's have a look back to the females race, which has just been split up. Sarah James pulling away from Montana Brown.
Time coming in just under 90 seconds, though, for Sarah, so she'll be pleased with that. Likewise, Montana. Here is the wily old veteran of the triple jump field, Sarah Cowley-Ross. Olympian, just an outstanding athlete, and now, of course, doing great things in New Zealand track and field with regards to selection. Occasionally pops down and joins us in the commentary too.
Yes. It's funny you mentioned the wily old veteran. She's would probably call herself a newbie to this event, but obviously heptathlon doesn't include the triple jump. So she's probably loving this fresh take on a new sport where she can use a lot of the skills that transfer over from long jump, from the sprints, and can apply them into this very technical event, the triple jump. Let's see, gets a good clean first jump at the board, and nice sort of smiled finish.
Not a bad start, 11.88. So 11.88 is the measurement for Sarah Cowley-Ross. I think you saw she was a wee bit behind the board as well, and that was one thing that she did say she was struggling with, was just trying to find her place on the board, getting as close to maximising the distance as possible. This is Andrea McDowell of Auckland, Pakuranga Athletics Club representative. We've got the men's 400 metres powder coming up very shortly. That'll feature William Steadman, also Guy Harrison, the very impressive Mitch Joint and Joshua Taylor. Steadman, of course, multiple world and Olympic para-athlete for New Zealand.
Yeah, bronze in the 400 and the 800 at Rio, and 5th in the long jump. So one of our standout para-athletes.
We've got a raft of them at the moment across a myriad of sports, but William will be running in lane number 4. Andrea McDowell just continues to hold here at the top of the runway. Now she is off.
There's big strides to get it going. Now gets up to speed. Hits the board cleanly. And again, maintaining that good momentum. Oh, red flag. Never a good sight to see as you come up from the sand. And here is Kaya Tupu South.
Good footwork there by the official. They could have clattered into him. Nice little bit of footwork, evasiveness there to try and get out of the way. And so our final athlete, there you see the senior women's discus, Sarah Peace, Sentane Nom Duckworth, who we saw in the women's hammer throw, Zana Beatty, Savannah Skeen, Tatiana Kaimoana, another very talented athlete out of the Waikato Bay of Plenty setup, Salomai Rose Vale Moratalo.
So no Tarina Keenan this year, the reigning champ. So that leaves the door wide open for the other ladies to follow.
Helena Dennison with her first jump.
bit of her this morning in the 200-metre heats.
Well, again, another athlete that just, again, with great talent and has been working through a raft of events over the course of the first, and now as we head into our final session of the 2021 Jennian Holmes New Zealand Track and Field Championships. So great to have the continuing support of Jennian Holmes, been involved with New Zealand Track and Field for a wee while now, and their support, I know, very much appreciated around the country. And you see Melina with a jump of 11.77. So after the first round, as you see the field for the Para 400, Taylor, Steadman, Harrison and Joyne. After that first round of jumps, it is Anna Thompson of Wellington, 13.03. Big jump for Anna. And she leads from Sarah Cowley-Ross in second spot, 11 metres 88, as Alessandra McDonald gets the second round of jumps underway. Now, a reminder that it is the top 8 athletes who will move on and get 3 more jumps. So we are looking at a field of, it's 10 athletes. There's 10. So 2 will drop out at the end of the after 3 rounds. Here is Diana Izmagalova, fouled on her first jump. She is someone who is a 12-metre jumper. But really, Anna Thompson laid down a big marker with that first leap for everyone else to come and chase. Red flagged again for Diana, and she looks back, frustrated. Well, the next time through, she is going to have to be extra cautious, because those are 2 fouls. If she has a third, she won't have a distance, which means she would not be able to advance. And Izmagalova again wants to check, asking the question. Here you see Courtney McDonald down there doing some great work. Courtney from Athletics New Zealand. So some questions there. There we are. This is the field for the senior women's discus throw.
Which means we must have seen a warm-up throw from Kaitupu South, the woman there on the right in the blue.
201, that is Kaitupu South. So Sente Nom Duckworth, Nom Duckworth I should say, Savannah Skeen, Kaitupu South will be one of the favourites. Saloma Rose Veo Malutalo, Sarah Pearce, Zana Beatty, Tatiana Kamawana and Yorana Tofafo Taufili.
Now, interesting, last year in second place was none other than Lauren Bruce. So obviously Lauren focusing now on the hammer solely.
Well, I was looking through top 15 men's discus throws, and funnily enough, just outside the top 15, I think it was 16th or 17th, was one T. Walsh from back in the day.
Yeah.
Around about a 53 or a 54 with the senior implement. And I think he did that when he was a junior. So,
and that shows the importance of these rotational throwers, to have that diversity, and you learn a lot about your body, learn about what your specialty is, develop that coordination, and then when you're specialised, you can use all those skills and body awareness and translate them into your specialised event. Now, talking about specialised event, this woman has really stamped her mark on the triple jump this year and already stamped her mark on this competition. Here we go. Round number 3, Anna Thompson. Another good jump.
white flag goes up this time as well.
She'll be enjoying having this light breeze at her back, just blowing her down that runway. As we just get a little look at this replay before clicking over to the track.
So that's a Nice start to the competition for Anna Thompson, having leapt 13 metres and 3. She follows it up with 12 metres 58. Taylor in 3, Steadman 4, Harrison 5, Mitch Joint is in 6. This is the men's 400 metre para senior.
Yeah, so expect Mitch to be a little bit slower out of the blocks, but then once he gets up to speed, he's really got a good top end speed on him. William Steadman also, as we know, that 4 and the 8 double bronze at Rio.
It's a good run at the moment by William, who's gets up on the inside of Mitch Joint. And it'll come down to a straight sprint down that final 500. Of course, there is different classifications for these particular athletes, but gee, this is a really nice run by William, who is striding out. Now Mitch Joint starts to really get about his work down the final home straight, but super work by William Steadman. That's going to be a time probably around sub 54.
Yeah, look, 53 high and then 54 high for Mitch Joint as well. So good solid times from those boys. As always, we need to adjust per world record as a percentage of world record. So these guys just hit the deck.
Good run by Guy Harrison, actually, just to avoid William Steadman, who was sprawled out there. Nice work by the local athlete.
So Mitch Joint, of course, more favouring the 1 and the 2, so big step up for him to be doing the 4. William Steadman, he just punched the sky. He heard the time come up.
Yeah, 53.94, and Mitch Joint a 55 flat, and both of them look pretty chuffed with those times as they congratulate each other. Wind speed plus 1.7. So it's quite good. Lara Hockley, by the way, has just had another jump and improved slightly. 11.1.
Big PB for William Steadman. His best was 54.28 set in Dubai last in 2019 at the World Champs. So that's huge. That's massive. So almost, 0.3 of a second faster.
And that's the reason why you saw the big punch and the exuberant look on his face, and he's down there and he's feeling it, but I think he's also probably basking a little bit in it as well. As this is our discus. This is the senior women. It is Jana Beatty. Sente Nom Duckworth, by the way, getting the competition underway with a throw of 42.17. So plenty of great field action, as well as 200 metre finals coming up a little bit later on as well. We'll be bouncing in between that and the pole vault. Also the women's triple jump, which is where we head now to Jane Nwunzi. Here, opening round jump of 11.53. We've already seen a couple of the competitors, and McDonald and Hockley, improve on their opening efforts. This is Savannah Sheen of Auckland. Stepping in, that's a nice throw to begin. That's around that 50 metre mark, just under. So, again, there was a foul by Nwunzi, so no marker there for the triple jump. This is Tatiana Kamoana.
So she got 4th in this competition last year, but the 3 women ahead of her are not in this competition. So can we see her get up? She's 3rd best in the country, and the only other woman in this competition to be beating her this year is Savannah Sheen.
And Savannah's just opened with 50.17, but Tatiana Kamoana has just gone past that, and she'll be your new leader.
Yeah, good response. So Savannah Sheen's personal best, which was set this year, 54.48. So expect the gold medal to go to someone who can get up around those mid-50s. And Tatiana's best this year, 51.76. I wonder if that's beaten that. It looks to me like it could be definitely challenging it.
I'd say it's at least around the 51, 52, Hayden, as always. Well, there we go, 52 metres and 10 centimetres.
So that's only, 65 centimetres short of her best ever.
So that's a great start for Tatiana Komoana of Waikato Bay of Plenty. Sarah Cowley-Ross is preparing for another jump. This here is Salua Mairose via Molatalo. There she is. The old mate, Sarah Cowley-Ross. All that experience as she is on the runway. 11 metres 88, her first jump. We look back. And it is a legal jump as well. The white flag goes up.
In the women's under 2400 metres. Running in lane 1, we'll have Leah Powick from Canterbury.
So Cowley-Ross just waits for her measurement. And again, she just goes and as we look down. Here's the field for the 400 metres final of the under 20 women's. Leah Powick in lane number 1, Amy Walker in 2, Chloe Hughes 3, Emma Douglas 4, Annalise Culmer in 5, Holly Rule is in 6, and Macy Hilton of Auckland in lane number 7. Cowley-Ross goes with a 12 metre, 27 centimetre jump. So she maintains second spot behind Anna Thompson. But that is a great jump for Sarah Cowley-Ross.
Yeah, the veteran stamping her mark now in the competition. We've really got Anna Thompson out in the lead, and then we've got that group of women sitting in the 11s. And so Sarah with that jump just edging up into that 12s and solidifying her place in that second position.
Season's best. Previously, it was a open meet in Hamilton, and that was 12:13. So she has improved that mark. So that's a great jump, great leap by Sarah Cowley-Ross.
So Kaya Tupu South, the lifetime best with the senior implement, 53 metres. She's coming back from her win in the shot put in the under 20s.
There's Andrea McDowell. Ooh, that's a good starter as well from Tupu South.
That's very good. It's looking beyond the 50 metre mark.
Well, we've seen Sheen go over 50. Komoana go over 50. And now I think we've seen Tupu South do the same. Very close. So that's a great wee battle that's going to ensue.
Now, interestingly, the discus is the longest standing New Zealand record in the throws. Any ideas who the record holder is, Nigel, in the senior women's discus?
Have to be one B Falmawina, would it not?
Yeah, absolutely. None other than the Queen Bee herself.
Well, here we are. This is the final of the 400 metres women as we turn our attention back to the track here at the Jennian Homes New Zealand Track and Field Championships of 2021. Polwick on the inside for Canterbury, then Walker, Hughes, Douglas, Culmer, Rule and Hilton. As they work their way out and down the back straight, and that is Holly Rule. On the inside of her, though, is Annalise Culmer. And Annalise has really split the stagger nicely, and she's powering away through this first 200 metres as they hit the top bend.
Yeah, keep a close eye on Annalise. She was your senior women's champ from last year. This year, of course, in the under 20s, and looking nice and strong, already pulling away as she comes in and will get that nice tailwind to blow her home. But anything can happen in the last 100 metres of a 400.
Well, she's looking very strong, though. Holly Rule trying to chase her down, but this has been a wonderful display. And cantering down, and an outstanding performance.
Good finish from Chloe Hughes, just pipping... or was it Emma Douglas, sorry, just pipping Holly Rule there.
And they were all pretty much running for second from around about the 150-metre mark of this particular race. 54.94 for Annalise Kelmer. Emma Douglas in second spot from Holly Rule, just a 10th in that one. Here we are back to Diana Izmagalova, and this is a big jump for Diana. She's had 2 foul jumps so far in the triple jump. This is her last attempt in the first round. If she doesn't lay down a distance, she gone. Top 8 advances, so you know what she's capable of. She's got to put one. So,
yeah, big pressure moment here.
The big problem is she's been stepping over the board, so you have to adjust a little bit just to make sure she gets one in.
She's been second behind Anna Thompson 3 times this season. Can she stay in the competition? We're looking for the white flag. That's all we need, surely.
Oh, well, the official there is making her wait as well. Well through the jump, and then he's waiting, and then the flag goes up. So she is on the board, and that's a good jump as well, it has to be said, from Izmagalova.
The strong strides getting going, and look like nice rhythm through the phases of the triple jump there. And we skip back to the women's discus, sending it into the blue sky here in sunny Hastings.
Did that stay in? Because if it did, that's going to be
yes.
another one.
It's
It
out
is.
past 50, clearly. We can tell that for sure.
Well, that is Savannah Skeen. So she threw 50.17 to begin. And as we were both educated by Terry Lomax at the Porritt Classic, if you're a right-handed thrower and it comes down that left-hand side of the arc, you're getting absolute maximum purchase in terms of your distance. And so the leader after the opening round was Kaya Tupu South, who threw 52.73. Tatiana Kaumoana from Waikato Bay of Plenty, 52 metres 10. And now Savannah Skeen has just thrown 52.39. Here's Anna Thompson, leader of the triple jump. White flag goes up. Her opening jump of 13 metres and 3. You see powering towards that board. And strong through all 3 phases of the triple jump. She has been in great form and continuing to show that. And she's extended again.
Wow.
13 metres and 5 centimetres.
Yeah, look at that. She's so happy about that. She's just been on fire all season long and carried it through to nationals. Had to wait 3 more weeks for this to happen, but it hasn't dented that fitness. In fact, she's probably benefited from a little bit more of a break to hone that fitness, work on that technique, and she is loving life in the triple jump right now.
Just so for those who are interested, the New Zealand record set by Nika Okpala, that was in April 2016. The record stands at 13 metres 91. So still a wee way off it, but gee, that's very good jumping by Anna Thompson, who's in a rich vein of form.
So we're getting ready for the under-20s 400 metres, and good little battles here. This is a little bit of a rematch for a lot of these athletes from the New Zealand secondaries back in December. So we've got Matthew Eddy in lane 1, Keel Muliaga Padi in lane 2, in lane 3 Flynn Marshall, then John Wells, Kieran Pym, Ethan Calder-Cass, Aidan Porritt and Troy Middleton will run on the outside from Auckland. But keep your eyes on Flynn Marshall because he ran a just blistering final 100 metres to claim the New Zealand Secondary Schools title and go sub 49 for the first time in his life. So he will probably be the man to beat. Also, Troy Middleton was 3rd in that race. So Flynn Marshall will run in lane 3.
So we've got 4 Auckland athletes in Eddy, Mulianga Padi and Marshall, with Middleton on the outside, and then Wells, Pym, Calder-Cass and Porritt shoehorned in between those Aucklanders. there by Kaya Tupu South. That's another good throw from her, the leader at the moment in the discus. The starter's hands in the 400 metres. And away. Nice clean start by all 8 of our athletes. As we look to see, and Ethan Calder-Cass has made a great start.
And Kieran Pym also looking nice and strong on his inside, but maybe making a little bit of a move up on right in the inside as the Aucklander Flynn Marshall starting to get into his work. He closed so hard at the secondary schools. And I wonder if we're going to see that good closing last 200 from him as well. Maybe coming into first place on the bend, you'll see him come into view on the inside in the blue.
Well, this is pretty even. It's Pym, it's Marshall. It is a straight-out race. Marshall, though, starting to creep. Here comes Pym. Can the home crowd get him? What a finish by Wells. Pym gets there.
Wow, what a race.
I thought he was going to collapse. He's done so after the finish line. He lost form. What an outstanding 400 under-20s final.
Absolutely amazing. So Kieran Pym gets the win, 49.59. Just closing so hard. It often comes down to a 400 metres. Who's got the legs in the last 50 metres? Who's done all that lactic acidosis work to deal with that fatigue? And you look at him coming up through the centre, the Cantab. John Wells trying to get in amongst it, but Kieran Pym just falls over the line. And I want to say, was it the Cantab? No, Flynn Marshall's been given it 49.69, just 0.1 of a second off first place. And then
there's going to be very little difference between, well, they've actually given Wells the same time as Flynn Marshall, 49.69. Pym looks like me at the end of my 3K on a Monday night. So that was, I was really worried though. I thought that form going to mean that he's going to lose the momentum, but gee, that was a great finish.
Yeah, wonderful running from Kieran Pym. So that improves his personal best. So his personal best coming into this was 49.86. He's taken almost 0.3 of a second off that. So performing when it counts. And what a way to do that at home.
So quick update from the women's discus. Kaya Tupu South with the lead at the moment, 52 metres 87. So improving on her opening round throw. Savannah Sheen, 52.39, and then Tatiana Kormoana with 52.10. So we got us a real competition in the women's discus. And there you see the competitors for the men's pole vault. Etienne Dupré. And now that's what you like to see. All of them in there. So it's 4 Cantabs. Oh, Savannah again with another good throw. This is a great wee competition we got going at the moment. Final round of throws before they'll have a wee break. Cowley Ross, just a bit of sprint training and a long jump to finish. Right look on her face there. She's currently in second spot at the moment as Sarah with a leap, a season's best leap as well, it must be said, of 12.27 as we see this throw, this impressive throw coming in from Savannah Sheen. So this is waiting for this to come through as Tatiana Kormoana steps in. 52.24 for Savannah Sheen. So 15 centimetres lower than her previous throw. Here is Kormoana, another one nearing that 50-metre mark.
Now, while we're on the focus on the discus, I had a good chat to Connor Bell before, who said he was happy to get the title, but also he was actually really happy with his throw out to 61 metres because he's been dealing with a bit of a back niggle, and he was actually really stoked to get that last throw out beyond that 60-metre mark with that back niggle. And for him, that meant a lot because it really boosts him up the rankings list. So right now he's got a buffer of about 11 in terms of the rankings going towards Tokyo. So hopefully that will be enough to secure him a spot, but time will tell.
Yes, for those not aware or maybe not been made aware of the different change with regards to qualification that Hayden is talking about there, it used to be a case of you had your A and your B standard. If you hit the A, you were going. If you hit your B, needed to do it a couple of times, then it was ratification by your national body. Now they've changed it. Yes, there is an automatic qualifying mark like we saw Julia Radcliffe throw last night in the women's hammer, but there are also ranking points available at all the different meetings. They grade them differently. This meeting here is the one where you can earn the most ranking points. So another big boost, as Hayden is talking about, for Connor Bell and some of the other athletes who are looking to try and get themselves into those top ranking positions, so they will be selected to go to the Tokyo Games if they do not throw or do not run or post automatic qualifying marks. Be the same for Hamish Kerr yesterday in the high jump as an example, sitting 16th. Big ranking points boost by winning the national title.
And also winning with a good height or a good distance. So that's important, those two factors coming in. Not only do you want the win, but you want that good performance on the board.
We have a new third place person in the women's triple jump. Sorry, Hayden, for just jumping in, because Helena Dennison has just jumped 12.05. So she has moved up into third spot. It's Anna Thompson still leading, Sarah Cowley-Ross second, and Helena Dennison in third spot.
What I'm loving about this, it's the older women taking it to the youngins. So Helena Dennison and Sarah Cowley-Ross, hopefully won't mind me saying, but they both are getting into their later 30s.
Well, their mums.
Shall I say?
Their parents.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
it's awesome. So Anna Thompson, I think she's 27. So good little battle of the veterans versus the youngins.
well, at the moment it is Sarah Cowley-Ross and Helena Dennison leading the chasing pack behind the very impressive Anna Thompson.
My Broughton stretching in this race, so lane 5 will be empty.
So we have got the women's 400 metres coming up shortly. There is the start of the men's pole vault. We'll do our best to keep an eye on that there. Sadly, no Nick Southgate, so Etienne Dupré, the sole Auckland representative. And there we see, that's another good throw. 51.23. So that's Kaya Tupu South, who leads what is a really tight top three in the women's discus. It's Tupu South from Sheen and Kormoana. Here is your final field for the senior women's 400 metres. Danielle Gelderman, Elena Edgar-Nemec, Jordan Blake, Cameron Smart, Maya Broughton, Isabel Neal. Oh, of course, an under-20s athlete.
Yeah, Anna Hayward and Maddie Spence make up those athletes. So Maya Broughton is scratching.
Yeah, I just noticed that. My apologies there for that.
Eyes on Cameron Smart and Isabel Neal. They are your two standout performers in this event. Isabel Neal this year has gone under 54 seconds with a 53.94, and
that's a
both of
great.
them looking good at the moment.
That's a great opening 150 metres by Isabel Neal as she eats up those two girls, Anna Hayward and Maddie Spence, on the inside of the stagger. But coming through is Cameron Smart in lane number 4. Cameron Smart also going very well too.
Yeah, Jordan Blake from Canterbury just on the inside wearing the red singlet of Canterbury, and it's going to be very interesting as they come off the bend to see who's in the lead, or do we have a bit of a blanket coming into the home straight?
Yeah, they're very even. Smart trying to maintain form. Neal, the Aucklanders battling. Neal fading slightly. Smart finishing the stronger of the two. And a good time as well for both. Cameron Smart from Isabel Neal and Jordan Blake. 1, 2, 3 gold, silver and bronze in the 400 metres women.
Wow, that's a big scalp from Cameron Smart. Her and Isabel have had a lot of battles over the years and have been very closely matched this season. 53.98. That's a big PB for Cameron to dip beneath that magic 54-second barrier. Isabel Neal comes through in second place, 54.74, and Jordan Blake, 21:09. So those three well clear of the pack. Some great 400-meter running. You've got to love a good 400-meter race, and well controlled from Cameron Smart. She really didn't show herself too much in that first 200, but showed her strength, showed her ability to deal with all that acidosis and fatigue in her body and maintain that form to run a PB and claim a national title.
So as we just have a very brief pause as we are now about to restart the senior women's discus. It'll be the
time of 54.84, so Cameron has bragging rights on the winning times there.
There we go. There's a little bit of a mention there with regards to Tony Hodgkinson.
So that's Cameron Smart's mother. And we just heard over the loudspeaker that she just bet her mum's personal best for the 400. So well done, Cameron. I'm sure Tony won't be too sad about that.
Yeah, well,
she'll want to hold on to her 800-meter record for a little bit longer, I'm sure.
I mean, that's another one of the great. I mean, New Zealand, in terms of the senior 800-meter marks, have got a couple of crackers for young athletes to try and hunt down. Of course, the mark of Tony Hodgkinson, and anyone who's listened to the track and field broadcast that I've been fortunate enough to be involved with for Sky Sport Next, and Sky Sport knows of my absolute undying admiration for that extraordinary mark set by Peter Snell.
On
grass, hand timing.
No fancy carbon fibre plate shoes.
And it wasn't that long after he'd broken the world mile record as well at Cook's Gardens. Just an extraordinary couple of days, and the life of an extraordinary human being. That is Peter Snell. Of course, he did some just unbelievable things, that man.
Well, it'll be interesting to see with some of those athletes, Isabel and Cameron, if in their later years, because they're both born in 2001, so they're 19 years of age, winning a senior title. That's huge. But it certainly sets you up to potentially step up to the 800 and add a bit of endurance to that speed you've built in the 4. So, it'll be interesting to see if we get some 4-8 doubles. It's a rarer thing in New Zealand to have 400-meter runners stepping up. Usually we have middle distance runners kind of focusing on the 8-15 double, but it's certainly one of the ways to do it, as we've seen with the likes of David Rudisha, great 400-meter runner and obviously world record holder in the 800 meters.
You just saw the first throw of second throw, I should say, of the fourth round in the women's senior discus. That was Yorana Tofofo Tafili of Wellington. And there on your screen is Diana Ismagalova of Auckland. Best so far, 11:51. She needed to get a jump in, so she has advanced. So Katie Lee Roper and Maxine Chappell, the two athletes who have not advanced to the next 3 sets of jumps. Ismagalova. Again, we wait. It's a white flag that comes up, and the smile there from Ismagalova. Again, made to wait by the official. That one there looked like a better leap for the Aucklander. There is the men's 400 metres final. That's not a bad field either. Bailey Cotton, Nick Ash, Josh Ledger, Josh Masika, Hamish Gill, John Herbert, Bailey Stewart and Fergus McClay. And Gill, having stepped up, doing something a little bit rarer. You talk about 4 and 800. He's stepped up from the 2 to the 400.
He was the 200-metre champion last year, and he's focused on the 400, and he's looked good this year. He's run a couple of 47-second 400s, and he's certainly the man to beat. But Luke Mersika, just inside of him, he is your reigning national champ. And also keep an eye out for the likes of John Gerber. He's your under-20 champ from last year. Bailey Stewart was 4th place in the senior men's last year. So good lineup in the 400.
Just very quickly before we get back to that 400 metres, a season's best jump from Diana Ismagalova. She's just leapt 12.19, 12 metres 19. So that actually pushes her ahead of Elena Dennison, and she's now in 2nd spot in that women's triple jump behind Sarah Cowley-Ross, who in turn trails Anna Thompson, who's jumped 13.05, herself a personal best that she's been extending on. So here we go. 400 metres men's final. Cotton, Ash, Ledger, Masika, Gill, Herbert, Stewart and McClay.
So Hamish Gill running in lane 5. Let's see that start. You'd think he would be the first one out of the blocks, surely, as the 100, 200 specialist, now focusing on the 4. It looks like he's got the better of the bend out of all of them as they go into that wind on the back straight.
Masika, though, and Ledger right beside each other, and Masika is very good, particularly over the second half. Gill just seems to be slowing down a little bit, but it does seem to be Hamish Gill who has got that edge as they make their way around the top bend and swing into the home straight. Just coming into the shot there, it is Gill. Now you've got Masika and Ledger. Does Hamish Gill still have the finish? Here comes Masika now, starting to chase him down, but I think Hamish Gill's going to have enough. He gets it done from Josh Masika. That time was pretty good.
Looked like 47 low to me, so Hamish Gill held it together. I was worried for a second that maybe he didn't have the endurance and strength that the other boys have after a few more years of focusing on this event. So 47.59 is the confirmed time for Hamish, but he held tough, and I'm really loving this move to the 400. It's great to see a sprinter step up to the full one-lapper. Luke Masika backs up his win from last year with a silver medal. John Gerber, the junior champ from last year, adds to that with a bronze in the senior ranks.
Just have to interrupt you because Helena Dennison, while that race was taking place, Helena Dennison has just jumped 12 metres 49. She is now into second spot. Cowley Ross is bumped back into third, and Izmagalova drops down to fourth and out of the medals.
The number of season's best, year best we've had in this competition is just astounding.
But this is what happens when you get a group of really good, really close athletes. They spur each other on, they fire each other up, and this is what we are seeing. This is great stuff.
Brilliant competition here in the triple jump.
And this is a competitor right here in Sarah Cowley Ross. She's competed at the biggest sporting events around the world for track and field. Still see she's still learning to a degree. She looks back and waits. Wonderful smile on her face. White flag goes up. 12 metres 27 has been her best to this point. See, no changes in terms of distance or position, I should say. We have seen an increase in distance in the women's discus with Tatiana Komoana throwing 52.29, so adding another 19 centimetres on to her first round throw. She's still, though, in third behind Kaya Tupu South and Savannah Sheen. This is the leader with her fourth jump, Anna Thompson. 13.03 to start, then 12 metres 58, and then 13.05 with her third jump. She's in great form, nice little breeze at her back.
Look at this technique. If you want to know how to do the triple jump, just take some notes from this young lady out of Wellington. She is on fire today.
It doesn't seem as enthused as what she was for the previous jump, that 13 metre 05 effort. So we are preparing for the steeplechase, 3,000 metres steeplechase, where it will be a combined senior and under 20 event as well.
Yep, I can see them filling up the water trough, putting up the big barriers, ready for potentially the most brutal event in any athletic stadium. 3,000 metres, jumping over solid barriers, one of them including a little watered trough afterwards. It's the most unforgiving event. If you get those barriers wrong, it can all turn to custard very quickly. They don't just topple over like the sprint hurdles do. It's the distance runner that topples over, unfortunately.
And there we go with the triple jump. That athlete on your screen, that is Andrea McDowell, representing Auckland. Pakuranga Athletics Club member. Anna Thompson, that last jump, by the way, for Anna, 12.19, so well below that 13.05 effort. So the best jump for Andrea so far this afternoon. She was in a position where she had 2 no jumps and had to deliver, and she did. Her best was a 10.67 with her 4th jump. This is the 5th rotation through. We are also in the second to last run through in the throwers in the women's senior discus. Being led currently by Kaya Tupu South with her Auckland teammate Savannah Sheen in second, and then Tatiana Komoana of Waikato Bay of Plenty holding the 3rd spot at the moment, but not a whole lot at the moment from top 2 to 3rd. Less than half a metre. We go back now to Alessandra McDonald, who best so far is a jump of 10.94. He has jumped 11.47, her season's best. That was at the Porritt Classic. And now here's Komoana. Low, and that's gone well again. It's around that 50, but she needs to tack on probably another metre or 2. It's another good throw. We're seeing good, consistent throwing from the leaders in this competition of Sheen, Tupu South, and Kumoana. So, back to Ismagalova, who was temporarily in 3rd and then has been pushed down to 4th again by the jumping of Helena Dennison. Here is Sheen. McDonald posts her best jump of the afternoon, going 11.17. Here is Sheen. She's got a couple of more throws. That's another one around 50, but she needs to find a couple of more metres here. Komoana was 51.07, and I suspect that'll be a similar sort of range for Sheen. Ismagalova with 11 metres 86 in the women's triple jump. Here you see Kaya Tupu South. Gets the implement handed to her, and she'll amble over towards the throwing cage. Jane Wumsik, she jumped 11.76 with her last jump. So there was the 11.76 was actually a PB. I guess it is also dependent with regards to the wind speed at her back, but Jane having previously jumped 11.41. So that 11.76 at the moment would be a personal best. She's followed up with 11.71. I guess the factor we do have to consider when it comes to this is the assistance in terms of what the wind velocity is. It can be no more than 2 metres per second. I know the breeze has been getting up around sort of 2.5 to 3 at various stages. Here's Helena Dennison. Unleashed that 12.59 to catapult her into 2nd spot. That one there she's not as enamoured with by the looks of it. She's currently in 2nd spot at the moment.
Coming up soon on the track, we've got
It's often one of the little giveaways that they might not be getting as much distance is when the rhythm of each of the 3 phases isn't as even as possible. You know, 1, 2, jump. When you get a more that's often that you're just leaving a little bit of turf that you could have been eating up in each of the phases. So you want that nice even rhythm through the 3 phases of the jump.
So Dennison, that last jump was 12 metres and 4 centimetres. Lovely consistent sets with 11 metres 77, 11 metres 90, then 12 metres and 5 centimetres, then the big jump, the 12 metre 49 effort with her fourth, and that another 12 metre and 4 centimetre jump. Sarah Cowley-Ross with 12.27. That was a season's best.
2 more jumps for her to go. Ask for the crowd to give her a hand. Good crowd up, enjoying the sunshine on the embankment there. Competitors supporting her along as well. Good to see. Here she comes, Sarah Cowley-Ross.
There. See what the comes and has a look. And just looking at the board there, just seeing the mark where she might have been. Stands beside and has a wee look and thinking it's, well, 12 metres 28. So she's actually added a centimetre on. So, really is a good day for the mums in the field, with Cowley-Ross and Dennison going great guns. This is the person they're chasing at the moment. Opened with a 13 metre and 3 centimetre leap, and then her third, 13 metres and 5 centimetres. There you see, that's a great illustration of what Hayden Shearman, our expert analyst, was trying to explain to you. That lovely rhythm in terms of the flow through the jump.
Yeah, if we have a look at it again, it's almost like you could almost just holding time on a drum. Just 1, 2, 3, land. Beautiful. And she loved that. She had a good spin around, a little half fist pump.
It's because it's a third leap over 13 metres. That's 13 metres and a centimetre.
Wow. What a day she's having. What a season she's having. I mean, her best coming into this for the year was 12.8, and she's been unbeatable all year, but she's beating herself at this stage because she's out beyond 13, like you say.
The only thing that may sort of work against in terms of what is that wind strength in behind her at the moment, but you can't take it away from her. She is, and you saw it there yourself, lovely form. We're getting great shots by our team here at the Stream Shop who are providing the images for us. You're on Sky Sport Next, the YouTube channel. I'm so glad you are with us for the final session of the Jennian Holmes New Zealand Track and Field Championships of 2021. A little bit condensed. It was meant to be over 3 days earlier in the month, but we know what happened in terms of COVID and the lockdown and forced the postponement. So just slightly shorter. They had to get rid of the under 18 element of this particular meeting. The 18s have got North Islands and secondary school, North Islands and South Island events coming up, so they're not going to miss out, that's for sure. Andrea McDowell with her final jump in this final. Her best to this point so far has been 10.68. And this, I think, are the final throws in the women's discus. Tatiana Komoana. She has got that out. She needs to be better than 52.87. It's the mark set in the second round by Kaya Tupu South. That's got the gold medal spot at the moment. Her best so far for Tatiana was her fourth round throw of 52 metres 29. Always hard to get a really good gauge. We try and figure out possible arc.
Looks pretty good to me.
She doesn't look overly chuffed with it, though, and that measurement, I think, is through 52.26. So still 3 shy. So this is the last chance for Savannah Sheen.
It's just amazing to have 3 women up into the 52s. Very difficult to split them.
She's got that, but that's short of 50, so that one there won't be an improvement on her second round throw of 52.39. She will claim the silver, and it leaves the stage clear for Kaya Tupu South. Her best so far is 52 metres 87. They say in the old X Games world, a swag run when you can just go down, lay down whatever you want, having known that you've got your gold medal, well, here comes a swag throw. She can just relax, go through the routine and get it out there as much as she wants. And we've seen some people save their best for last. Connor Bell did it this year. Did it earlier today, I should say, when he threw 61 metres 85 and claiming the national men's senior title.
And this will be the last time Kaya's competing before she heads off to scholarship in the States. So this is a good farewell little victory dance for Kaya Tupu South. She won the under-20s shot put. She had a great New Zealand secondary schools campaign. And here is Magalova. So yeah, Kaya Tupu South had a great summer, and we wish her all the best as she heads off to the States. Remember that name, so we'll see a lot more of her in the future.
So it's great to have those athletes heading over there, and there is Magalova. And there are the athletes in the senior women's and under-20 3,000-metre steeplechase.
Yeah, we've just got Samantha Corbett wearing number 41H, just tucked in there. In the senior women's, and then Amanda Hollier and Amy Ferguson both running in the under-20s. So we talked yesterday about the 400 hurdles struggling to attract big numbers because of how brutal it is. This is one of those events as well where it's a brutal old event, and so often we get quality rather than quantity in the events in terms of numbers turning up.
Nice finish by Diana Ismagalova. She's recorded her best jump of the triple jump. There's a little bit of a stumble there. And it's Ismagalova with a 12-metre 22, but that's not going to be enough to push her up into the medals. So it will be Helena Dennison to jump next. And she is in second spot at the moment as we see Amy Ferguson lead our athletes through and comes down. She's still got 6 more laps to go.
So Amy Ferguson's got a best this year of 11:10. That was set in Hamilton back in late January. And her best is 11:07. So expect her to sort of be sitting around that 3:20 per K. She's 1 minute 20 per lap on a usual lap, but of course with the steeplechase we need to go out wide to incorporate the water pit, which is on the outside of this particular track.
Here's Helena Dennison, currently second spot at the moment in the women's triple jump, trying to pull out something special to haul in Anna Thompson. I'd say the way the head got thrown back there, I don't know if that's what she was looking for. 11 metres 99. There's confirmation of the senior women's discus results. Kaya Tupu Smith.
Yeah, Kaya Tupu South.
Sorry, Kaya Tupu South. Yeah, I was thinking for a minute, have I been saying it wrong all day? But no, that's okay. Just a small error. That's okay. These things happen. And so Dennison at the moment is in second spot. Sarah Cowley-Ross will have one final chance to get past her, and she could pull out something absolutely magical to get past Anna Thompson. Normally I'd say no chance, but it's Sarah Cowley-Ross. You just never know with her as we watch Amy Ferguson continue down to reel off another lap. But Sarah Cowley-Ross is on the runway with her final attempt in the women's triple jump at the moment. She will be taking home a bronze medal. She needs to find
22 centimetres would be to get up into silver, but it's almost a metre, a good 74 centimetres to challenge Anna Thompson.
Here she is, New Zealand representative, wonderful heptathlete, just a person that just seems to enjoy being in and around and involved in athletics. New Zealand selector as well. Loves the mentoring role now that she has moved into to a degree with some athletes, and still competing to a high level. This is her final jump in the women's triple jump. And that one there.
It's not going to do it.
You saw, as you pointed out, sometimes you'll see them collapse a little bit, and you just saw that with regards to Sarah in her final jump, and it's a foul jump. At the moment, she will have the bronze medal, she claims, with a leap of 12.28, which was her 5th round jump. Helena Dennison will be silver, 12 metres 49. And Anna Thompson, again, pressure off her. Can she maybe extend on this 13.05 that she jumped in the 3rd round? As Amy Ferguson continues to lead the way in the under-20 and the women's senior 3,000 metre steeplechase. Here's the last jump of the competition for your 2021 Jennian Holmes New Zealand Track and Field National Champion. Maintains good form right through.
What a season this woman's had. She's won every meet she's attended. What a classy jumper, and she's just turned it on at the end of the season with at least 3 13-metre plus jumps and possibly another one with that last one. We'll wait and see.
As I say, best 13.05. Oh, yep, 13.06. 13 metres 06. So,
wow, adds a centimetre to it. And she's pumped. She's really pumped.
Well, she should be. Let's look at this set. So, 1, all the jumps are legal. She starts off by going 13 metres and 3. She follows it up with 12.58, then goes 13 metres and 5 centimetres, then has the smallest jump of the day, which was 12 metres 19, then finishes going 13 metres and a centimetre, and then finishes with her best of the day, 13 metres and 6 centimetres, Anna Thompson, the national champion.
Impressive stuff from Anna Thompson. As we go back to the steeplechase, where Amy Ferguson has passed the halfway mark now. So she's got 3 laps to run. That'll be a tick over 1,200 metres. Each lap being worth a little bit more than 400 metres because they need to run wide to reach that water pit. Opting not to touch the barriers. You sort of see multiple techniques with the steeplechase. Some athletes preferring to touch the barrier and get a little boost off it, pushing the other side of the barrier as they go through. See there, Amy. Nice technique, actually. Just nice and economical over the barriers, not jumping too far. We see a lot of really great steeplers, but with very poor hurdling technique, and sort of just get their way around through sheer aerobic fitness. But at the moment, Amy Ferguson looking good. She's got about a 40-metre odd lead ahead of the only senior women's competitor, Samantha Corbett from Waikato Bay of Plenty, and then it's another 50 metres back to the second place in the under-20s competition. Amanda Hollier and Amy Ferguson in the senior women's, and Samantha Corbett in the under-20s. Apologies for that.
There you see Ferguson just again a nice rhythm, and it's I guess one of the things again when you talk about these particular events, and I remember one of the leading female steeplechasers whose names just eludes me at the moment. We would talk about with the 400 metres hurdles how they have the certain number of strides in between. I'm trying to remember the name of that lady, but she was exactly the same. She applied that to the steeplechase.
Wow.
She had to have X amount in between each of the jumps in the steeplechase as well. The sort of detail that she went to, and not too many people do that.
A lot of the steeplers, the purist steeplers, really enjoy the steeples because every 80 metres odd, you've got something to do. So you can break each lap down to the 5 barriers that you've got to cross, and it just breaks up what can otherwise be a monotonous 3,000 metres. So those athletes that like to have a few obstacles, keep it interesting, and often you see athletes with a good amount of speed as well translate well to good steeplers that come up from the mile, from the 1,500.
So here is Ferguson coming up to their water jump.
And that double foot landing into sort of the mid part of the the water. And that's another one with that water jump. So some people will plant their foot on the back and really push themselves, propel them over into the shallower end of the water jump. So we see there Samantha doing that. It can be quite daunting when you're up high just looking at this big deep thing of water. And she's going to come and get the bell here, does Amy Ferguson. Leading our senior women's 3,000 metre steeplechase ahead of Amanda Hollier, who's about 100 metres behind her. And in the middle of them is the leader of our under-20s race, Samantha Corbett, who just needs to tick off another lap of this track here in Hastings, and she will claim her under-20s title.
So, Ferguson just cruising along quite nicely. She knows she's got a good break as she takes that hurdle, heading down the back straight. And just a nice, easy rhythm. Hasn't really changed the cadence or her technique vastly throughout the course of this 3,000 metres. As the heads now and will take the water jump for the final time, as you see the cones angling her out towards that jump. Passing the hammer throw area where the senior men's hammer throw is not far away from getting underway. And you see it, takes it down, one final splash. And she's just got one final jump to do, and then she will be able to claim the title.
It could be a good little time here. I think her best is 11:06. She'll be a little bit outside of that, but in the midday heat, doing it solo, a little bit of a breeze to contend with. She'll be really happy with that, and more than happy with just the time. She'll be absolutely stoked to go home as the senior women's national champ in the 3,000 metre steeples. A brutal event, but she has conquered it today. And coming in to claim the under-20s women's 3,000 metre title, Samantha Corbett. She's run a well-paced race, will come through in a tick under 12 minutes, so safely under that sort of 4-minute K mark, and she's happy to see the finish of that race. And over the last barrier to come through to claim the silver is Amanda Hollier of Auckland.
And all three athletes just with that enough energy just to have a nice little spurt after they get over that final jump as well. So silver there for Amanda Hollier. Straight away Amy Ferguson over there to give her a hug and congratulate.
Now, something that I didn't pick up on as we were going through the women's triple jump was that that was a 12 centimetre PB for Anna Thompson. So her best coming into it was 12.94. So she's improved that by 12 centimetres.
I'm sure you mentioned that. I'm sure you mentioned that was the first time she went over 13.
Yeah,
I think you're correcting yourself unnecessarily. I'm sure you have mentioned that. So.
I have done that. Okay.
So
I thought we'd let that one go.
Great information. No. You've got everything. Honestly, folks, if you could see Hayden Sherman here, he's got his computer open. He's got all these different databases and spreadsheets. And the professor absolutely has got the lab open today. Don't you worry about that. There you see Etienne Dupré over there on the pole vault. So, big day, particularly with regards to the field. A little less activity on the track, but there will still be plenty of good stuff. We've got the 200 metres finals to come. Of course, we've got some relay action as well with 4x400. It's always interesting to see who shows up for that at the end of a meeting as well. Sometimes can be quite interesting. You might see the odd hurdler.
It's a matter of who's been to the physio the least over the weekend, I think, who gets the call up to the 4x4. You often avoid the team manager when they're stalking around looking for replacements for their 4x4 team.
Wow.
I remember one year getting the shoulder tap at for the Wellington team. I was like, you must be really desperate.
But you said yes, of course.
No, I managed to find someone else.
Oh, come on. One must represent with pride. If you get the shoulder tap, you got to step up. So we're just getting a look, in addition to the times for the 3,000 metres, one other thing we're getting a good look at here as we see some of our para shot putters going through their work is the wind speed at the moment. They've got Speed of around 2.6 metres per second. So depending on what the speeds were with regards to that triple jump. But doesn't nonetheless take anything away from what was a beautiful series of jumps by Anna Thompson. As you say, going over 13 metres for the first time. So the shot put, this is the men's senior shot put. Here is Etienne Dupré. Up, just clips that. A bit of frustration there from Dupré. Just looks up, looking at the coach. A bit of the old, what about this, what about that? Looks a little bit frustrated. You're seeing the medal ceremony for the senior women's discus. Kaya Tupu South. It's a final event in New Zealand before she heads over to the United States on scholarship.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what she focuses on over the coming years. I imagine for her early years at college, she'll do as many throws as the coach can put her in to get those team points for a team at University of Washington. But at some stage in her college career, no doubt she'll decide what she's going to hone in on and make her focus in the senior ranks.
Well, it looks as though that might have been the last attempt for Etienne Dupré, and it could be the end of the men's pole vault competition.
Yeah, it looks like some serious packing down.
Yep, that is being done. Yep. They're taking down the pole. So
down they go for the last time this year.
And we look over now and you see just briefly saw the women's senior high jump final contestants. There you see Liam Chock-Wolf, who's having competed in shot put and discus, is now stepping into the hammer throw circle as well. This is the under 20 men's hammer throw. Field of Liam Chock-Wolf, Hano Nell, Max Abbott and Caleb Sola. Here's the para shot put final. Has come to an end. So it says we've got a wee break as some of the other events get themselves all set up. We too will take the opportunity to step out. We'll be back shortly with more coverage of the final day of the Jennian Holmes New Zealand Track and Field Championships 2021 on Sky Sport Next.
Jennian Homes have been proudly building the homes New Zealanders love for over 35 years and encouraging youth to achieve their hopes and dreams. Jennian Homes is proud to partner with the New Zealand Olympic Games team.
We know a country that will refresh you and recharge you and just make you feel a whole lot better about things. This country is food and wine country, but you probably know it as Hawke's Bay.
From the schoolyard to the stadium, Aon has been helping Kiwis strive for sporting success on a local, regional and national level for over 20 years. We're proud to support New Zealand's sporting organisations and communities up and down the country. As New Zealand's leading insurance broker, we can also support you when it comes to your insurance. With expert advice and local service. From quote to claim management, we're with you every step of the way. Talk to your local Aon insurance broker today.
Welcome back as our coverage of the Jennian Holmes New Zealand Track and Field Championship. Well, it's just going to be put on a brief pause as we've seen some great action throughout the course of the early afternoon session. There is just a wee break while they get set up for the senior women's high jump, also the under 20 men's hammer throw. Those events due to get underway in around about 15 to 20 minutes time. Here is the medal ceremony for the senior women's triple jump. There's Helena Dennison, who's claimed the silver medal. Sarah Cowley-Ross standing on the bronze step, but dominant performance by Anna Thompson, completing an outstanding season for her. And she is the national champion of the women's triple jump for 2021. And so what we will do, given that there is no further action for us just for the moment, we'll take a short break. We'll be back in 15 minutes' time, and it will be high jump, some hammer, and we've still got to come some great action on the track, including the 1,500 metres and some 4x400 metre relays. Until then, we will be back shortly here on Sky Sport Next.
Steeples have all been raised to a new height of 914 millimetres. The old term is about 3 feet. We have 3 starters in the under 20 men's 3,000 steeplechase. In lane 1 we have George Lambert from Manawatu Wanganui. In lane 2 Max Yantic from Canterbury. And in lane 3 Ben Condor, also from Manawatu Wanganui. Steeplechase, they will complete 7 laps once they go past the start and finish for the first time, so yeah, another 7 laps.
Well, welcome back. Slightly shorter break because we've got the under 20 and senior 3,000 metre steeplechase for men, which is about to get underway, and there is the under-20 field. George Lambert, Max Janzik of Canterbury, and Ben Conda. And Ben, like George, from the Manawatu Whanganui region. And they are underway. So they will complete 7 circuits. Of course, a slightly longer circuit than the 400 metre because they have to work out a little bit wider on the track to take in the water jump as they clear the first jump of their trip. As I say, they've combined the seniors and the under-20s for this particular one, though it's all under-20 athletes. So Lambert, Janzik and Conda. So the Cantabrian, easy to spot in the red with the black trim. And leading them over, the hurdling technique, as Hayden Sherman has alluded to. A little bit different in some cases. Some put a lot of effort into the hurdling side of things. That's Lambert is the blonder of the two Manawatu Wanganui athletes. His bib number 312, 310 is Ben Conda. And as they come around to complete their first circuit, everyone looking very calm. Big high clearance there by George as he leads them through. But a very steady and sedate start to this opening lap. So it'll be interesting to see sort of tactically what each of these runners do. Everyone looking very calm at the moment. There's a bit of a breeze, so it is a bit of a shift up into that wind as they head onto the back straight again. So cleared by Lambert, then Janzik, then Conda. So we've still got the under-20 hammer throw to come up. We've got the senior women's high jump. They're starting to warm up too. As Lambert leads it from Janzik and Conda as they move out to take the water jump for the second time. Janzik looking very comfortable at the moment. Conda, you wouldn't say he's being dropped by any stretch, but just wouldn't want to lose too much touch. And now Ben Janzik just puts on a little bit of a spurt and decides that he just wants to maybe dictate the pace a little bit more over these two Manawatu Wanganui athletes. Lambert comes to the outside, bit of a stutter, and then takes, and clearly just wants to make sure that Max doesn't think he's going to get everything his own way. He can't just move forward, and now George decides, actually, I want the lead back, and so gallops past him. They've got 5 more laps to go. Lambert responding a little bit there. Maybe just saying, okay, if you want to try that game, I can play it as well. Let's see what you got. Go past, you can see the athletes warming up for the senior women's high jump behind them. Lambert down the back straight. Quite interesting. I thought maybe he might want to try and sit in behind and maybe just sit behind Max, take a little bit of a wind block because the breeze has picked up. It was blowing there at one point around 3.5 metres per second in some of those races we were seeing earlier on. So,
yeah, definitely you want a little bit of company with that 3K going into that back straight. Like you say, that wind's pretty strong. But even there at the position that Max has got himself in, you'll be getting a little bit of a drafting effect as we see him just swing by in that water jump. So Max showing good technique over the water jump. Both these two boys having bronze medals currently. Max Janzik, bronze medal from the New Zealand secondaries back in December, and George, the current under-18 bronze medalist from 2020 New Zealand champs. So I'm sure they would like to get a gold to finish off their season.
Well, I thought, didn't Janzik pick up a bronze medal yesterday and behind Will Anthony? Trying to think off the top of my head whether he was on the podium in that particular race. I know we have called Max already in this competition, which of course is...
You are correct. So 15-18 in that great 5K race, the under-20s 5K, where we had Will Anthony just go from the gun run 14:40 and then 34 seconds behind Cameron Clark in second place, and shortly after Max Janzik. So
we saw Max there just putting the foot on the top of the jump, whereas George continues to try and clear it clean.
So 4.5 laps to go.
Very good. This has been his strength. Very good technique over that water jump as you see him just accelerate and push off. And you just see him gain an extra couple of metres there. And so clearly Max has done a little bit of work with regards to that particular jump and can see it as a chance that he can clear and get a little bit of an advantage. As he comes down with, Hayden comes down, he's still got 3 circuits to go.
Max has run a 9:39 this year already. That was at the ITM, which was won by Liam McDonald, who we should see lining up in the next race, I believe, in the senior men's.
So Janzik is clearing out quite nicely. Now got a good buffer over George Lambert. And in turn, they are around about 50 metres ahead of Ben Conda. So Janzik now seems to have got himself set up quite nicely, moving nicely in between the jumps. Alternating between trying to clear it clean or just doing what he's done there, putting the front foot on and just pushing himself over the top, as you'll see him do on that water jump, but very comfortable with regards to that. Already sights it up, and what you'll see is he'll put on a little spurt of acceleration. There it is, bang, push, and so he's getting himself right to the edge of the water jump, so he's not going in too deep. And that's great technique being shown there by Max Janzik going over that water jump, and he's clearing away and he's looking lovely and relaxed.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that, you know, from quite a far distance away from the barrier, learning how many strides you can put in and learning where you can check your stride. And I was talking to Terry Lomax yesterday, actually, about the steeples and some of the tricks that he uses with his athletes to do little challenges where he'll get his athletes to jog away from the barrier. He'll clap, they have to turn around and then attack the barrier and learn to adjust their pace on the fly, adjust their stride on the fly, jump off different feet. And so all those little technicalities help to keep your pace up and mean you're not losing that ground on each of the barriers.
So Janzik with a good break at the moment. He'll be 50 metres ahead of George Lambert, who is in second spot from Manawatu Wanganui. As he heads out for his penultimate leap of the water jump. Comes around again. Sides. You can see him. He is literally lining it up. Attack, push. There you go. It's a great jump. And I suspect Janzik probably has had the Lomax influence with regards to that particular facet of his steeplechase. He's Lambert coming over. So as he comes down, takes that jump, he'll come down and take the bell in the 3,000 metres. This is the under-20 3,000 metre steeplechase. Max Janzik of Canterbury. One more circuit to go. George Lambert of Manawatu Wanganui just coming down, and he takes the bell as well. But now he's a good 60, 70 metres behind the Cantabrian. He has to punch up into that breeze one final time.
Max Janzik looking really good, 18 years of age, out of the Timaru Harrier Club. And just looking through his little bio on the ANZ rankings, he's got 4 bronzes to his name. So right now he's 250 metres away from getting a gold medal at a national champ. He will be absolutely delighted if he can get over these last remaining 2 barriers, one of them the water jump. This is where you need to focus. Make sure everything just is in line. The legs are tired. The lungs are hurting. Let's just get this last water jump done. And he does so nice and cleanly.
I think he has landed in the same spot every single time, just maybe that half step shy, right on the edge of the water. Brilliant technique. And he's coming down to become a deserved national champion. There's Lambert labouring slightly, but he's comfortable in silver. But here is your national champion, and deservedly so, Max Janczyk of Canterbury, claiming the under 23,000 metres steeplechase title.
Good solid time there. Tick over 9:50. And clearing the last barrier. Here he comes, George Lambert. He's going to gain the silver medal after his bronze last year.
It's a bad time, round about the 10-minute, 10-second mark, there or thereabouts, and then we just wait for our final competitor, Ben Conda, who's just taking that jump. Now we'll swing out, one last leap over the water jump. He's going to claim a bronze medal in this particular race. Easily working through, and as you say, even doing one jump in a 3K run, I think, would be enough to cause some mischief for a lot of people. But Ben, he's just got one more obstacle to overcome, and then he can gallop down to the finish. The time will be just over the 11-minute mark. He will be standing on the podium. So
you can just hear through the effects mics that wind picking up. That'll be blowing Ben Conda home, but it will add that extra element of challenge for the remaining events to round out this New Zealand track and field champs.
It was interesting just hearing the distance, the height there for Etienne Dupré, who's won the senior men's pole vault. It's 4.5 metres, and I say just because, you know, we know that these guys are capable of those 5 metres, but you just wonder how much of an impact that breeze, which is really starting to strengthen, coming up at 2.5 metres per second at the moment on the information available for us, but it just feels as though it's a little bit more, though granted we are in the grandstand part there, so it will probably be funneling through a little bit more, probably a bit different down there at trackside. But there's your medalists in the men's 3,000 metres. Under 20, Max Janczyk of Canterbury, George Lambert with the silver, and Ben Conda claiming bronze. So now they are just finishing up preparations for the under 20 hammer throw, the women's high jump. There you are.
Yeah, getting underway with this women's high jump. And like you say, this is one of those events that may just be affected a little with that wind as you come into, it'll be over their backs, but certainly as they turn to make their turn to jump, that's when they'll feel that wind just coming over either their left or right shoulder.
Just seeing one of the Taylor sisters, no doubt will be to the fore in this particular event. There you see the preparations that are taking place for the hammer throw. We have got the men's 3,000 metre senior steeplechase coming up. Jan van der Peet, Harry Ewing, Matthew Rogers, and Liam McDonald, the man that you mentioned earlier, Hayden. So a 4-man field in the senior 3,000 metres. So just again, just a slight lull in proceedings. The final warm-up that is taking place for the women's senior high jump. And that will feature a few of the athletes that we saw yesterday in the under-20s. And Alice and Josie Taylor, Maddie Wilson as well. They were the medalists in the under-20s also as well. You'll see Alexandra Hyland, Imogen Skelton, Kelly O'Hagan, and Josephine Reeves of Wellington.
Yeah, so last year it was Josephine who took the senior title out, and followed by Keely O'Hagan and Emma Sutherland in 3rd place. So let's see if the Taylor sisters can get amongst those medals this year.
Well, there is Max Abbott, who won the under-20 discus yesterday. You see the 3,000 metres men's steeplechase not too far away. The hammer just getting underway. And there is the under-20s final. We've also got the women's high jump, 200 metres, both the seniors and the under-20s, both men's and women's. And also the 1,500 metres. Camille Buscombe, she'll be looking for a 5,000 1500 double, but of course Catherine Camp, I think, was sort of contemplating, deciding would she go. I'm sure she'd be keen to have a crack at an 800, 1500 double at the national championships, wouldn't she, Hayden Sherman? That'd be one challenge you'd be pretty tough to turn down.
Absolutely.
Just waiting for the measurement to come through for Max Abbott, and that under 20s, 48.02. Here is Hanno Nell out of Hawke's Bay, Gisborne. He was very vocal in the shot put competition earlier this morning. See whether we get that same volume coming out of the young man from Hawke's Bay, Gisborne. Gets that and sends it out. That's a good start. Always nice to get one out of the cage nice and early and get a marker down. Here he is, Hanno. Nice getting to compete. As a wee chat with Liam and Chock Wolf. So there we are. That's what we're looking at. So the 200 metres, the 1500 metres, they'll be the big feature events on the track. Zoe Hobbs can do a 100, 200 double, or whether Georgia Hulls can have that say on her home track. Just putting down a measurement here. There you go. 46.72 for Hanno Nell. Here is Liam and Chock Wolf, who was here very early. I thought I was getting here early. He was out warming up in the fog over on the back field, having already competed today. And here he is, stepping in. So here is these very gifted throwers, whether it is discus, whether it is shot put, whether it is hammer. Wanders out. Having got his campaign underway, not 100% sure, a little bit nonplussed look on the face there from Liam. So Hanno with that 56.72. That one looks more closer to the 50 metre mark. So we just wait for that confirmation to come through. Down in front of us, they are underway in the 3,000 metres steeplechase for men.
Yeah, and this is a good, exciting lineup. We've got Jan van der Pret, who moves to the front immediately, followed by Harry Ewing, and we've got Matt Rogers in there, and Nia McDonald, who I believe is a scratching. So it really is Jan van der Pret and Harry Ewing. Now this is a good little matchup because Harry Ewing is the World Unis representative from 2019. He's got a personal best of 8:42, which is the best by a Kiwi for quite a long time. And then with Jan van der Pret, he's two-time national champ. He wants to make that 3 in a row, but his personal best is 9:15. So these two, with the two man buns tied up there, are going to have a good little battle. And it's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds. Whether we see Harry wanting to just use the confidence that he's got from that sub-9 personal best and go out a bit harder. But at the moment, it's just neck and neck, happy to run shoulder to shoulder.
Oh, just getting the feel for each other, just seeing where they are, come through the first lap nice and comfortable. Done that in just a hair under 90 seconds. This will be, you kind of get the feeling it's a little bit cat and mouse at the moment, maybe. Seeing as they work their way, and again, that breeze that we've spoken about, very open as well. Down the main straight, you've got a little bit of shelter coming from the grandstand, but fully exposed down that back straight that they're currently punching into that breeze. We're also getting as well some of the heights that the athletes competing in the women's high jump look like they're going to be starting at. So Kelly O'Hagan, Josie Taylor, Imogen Skelton and Josephine Reeves all looking at coming in at 1.66 m. Alexandra Hyland wants to start at 1.56 m. Alice Tater 1.61 m, and Maddie Wilson looking at the 1.56 mark as well. So those are their starting heights.
So Harry Ewing here, happy to run on the shoulder of Yan, and looking at the water jump in that previous one, if you can just sort of see the technique and see who's having to catch up after the water jump. If anything, I felt like Harry just had a slight edge in terms of technique. Both of them looking pretty proficient over the barriers, but Harry just edging away as we get a look at this high jump final, senior women's.
There you go. Now we pan across to the steeplechase, and Ewing and Van der Peert. And just a wee bit of a break coming in here now.
Yeah, so like you said, Harry just at the start happy to take a little look at Yan, and now just easing away as we're past a kilometre into the race.
So you see the introductions here. Here is Josephine Reeves from Wellington, and then Maddie Wilson, who we've seen a lot already over the first couple of days. Back we go to Harry Ewing, and again, good technique coming over that water jump.
I think we should just have a default space for Maddie Wilson in every event, just to
Well,
assume she's going to be there.
I'll tell you right now, Canterbury, you have absolutely got your money's worth out of young Maddie Wilson. And if you are just joining us on Sky Sport Next, so great to have you with us here on day two. There was a point yesterday that the young lady that we are talking about, and we'll get a shot of her when she starts her competition in the senior women's high jump. At one point she was competing in the javelin, competing in the shot put, and then stepped away from both of those events to run the second leg of a 4x100 metres, then came back to compete her final throws in the javelin and the shot put. So a wonderful, one of the myriad of outstanding multi-eventers, heptathletes and decathletes that they are breeding down there in Canterbury. But she's already competed a couple of times today. This is another one, and they are getting her absolute money's worth out of Maddie Wilson. Claimed a title with the 100 metres hurdles for women for the under 20 as well. So when you go through,
that's a great result.
She'll be putting the bag in the overhead locker on the flight back down to Christchurch, and they'll go, "What's all that rattling?" She'll be able to say, "That's just all my medals. I've had a goodish weekend at the Jennian Holmes New Zealand Track and Field Championship."
I'll tell you, you got to be a master of logistics to handle all those events. I used to find it stressful just doing one. And
all you had to pack was a pair of shoes.
yeah, managing all those different events and getting the timing right and all the entries and all that, and let alone training for the things.
Yeah, well, we were enjoying watching Holly Robinson, of course, our outstanding para javelin thrower, set off to work this morning. She tucked the foam roller under her arm. She picked up a javelin. She was off like a boss. It was great to see. And you talk about travelling with that. Of course, the worst one in terms of travelling, if you're an athlete, it is a pole vaulter.
Yeah.
The amount of stories about, this is what happened with my poles, and I've lost this and I've lost that, and goodness gracious me, there's some absolute horror stories with regards to those.
The big long bags that they have to carry around. I'm a surfer, and travelling with a surfboard is an absolute nightmare, but you can double that and then some with the length of those pole bags. So they do well.
So here is the latest time over the water jump for Harry Ewing, who really has cleared out.
He's got two more of these to go now. He is past 1K to go, so looking pretty strong as well. We've got 6:18 on the clock. He's got about 50 metres back to Yan, who's just coming past Matt Rogers, just lapping Matt Rogers. But Harry looking nice and comfortable. Good to see him back running after that World University Games back in 2019.
So he's just got 2 more laps to go, and the advantage that he has over Van der Peet is around 50 metres as Van der Peet comes over the start-finish line right now. Heads away for another circuit. Matthew Rogers a lap down, but still chugging away manfully. He knows he's going to get a bronze medal with no Liam McDonald a late scratching from this, so Matthew knowing he can circulate and he'll end up on the podium. Not too far away from the start of the senior women's high jump. The bar will be set to 1.56 m, and the first 2 athletes to attempt that height will be Alexandra Highland of Auckland and the aforementioned and much admired Maddie Wilson, who won a bronze in the under-20 under-20 high jump yesterday. And again, just not done. Loves her work, loves her track and field, does Maddie Wilson. Here is Ewing coming down, looking very comfortable.
Just 6 more barriers to go. Here we go. He'll get the bell here. And he will have in his sights the national title. And it's about 60 metres back to Jan van der Peet, who's your reigning national champion, 2 times national champion. He was hoping for the 3-peat this weekend. It's looking very unlikely to happen at this stage, with Harry Ewing just 4 more barriers to get past.
He has a look over, does Jan, and he's just realising looked like he was just trying to increase speed, but I think this is going to be way too big a gap for him to try and breach. I think for a moment as he was coming down the home straight, he came over that final jump of the circuit and looked like he put in a bit of a dig, but it's a big, big gap. So that's 60 metres, probably even closer to 70 now. And Harry Ewing really has just run away, looks very comfortable with it. One final clearance of the water jump. Tongue goes out, didn't push off as far this time.
Yeah, one more job to do. Get over that final barrier, and then you get that good little burst of energy. As you know, there's nothing between you and the finish line, nothing between you and a national title. He's clear over. He's going to be your senior men's 3,000 metre steeple champion, Harry Ewing from the University of Canterbury, 9:17. It's good, solid time. Well done, Harry Ewing. And over the final barrier goes Jan van der Peet. He'll relinquish his title, but he's going to get a silver medal for his troubles. Here he comes. Jan van der Peet.
So now we wait for Matthew Rogers, who still has another lap and a bit to complete. I can tell you we are underway in the women's senior high jump final. And we've seen Maddie Wilson clear at her first attempt at 1.56 m. Alexandra Highland missed on her first attempt at 1.56, but then cleared very comfortably at the second attempt. So the bar now goes up by 3 centimetres to 1.61 m. And in addition to Highland and Wilson, we will also see Alice Taylor step in at this particular mark as well, one of the 2 Taylor sisters. Here comes Matthew down. He's still got one final lap to go. Battling a wee bit, but he knows if he can get around, doesn't matter how long it takes, he's going to earn himself a bronze medal. Continues to struggle, getting a nice round of applause from the crowd here. Takes the bell.
Yeah, he's still running under 4-minute Ks, so doing well is Matt Rogers.
Doing very well. I'd love to run under 5-minute Ks. I think I've done it once, and that was over 3 Ks, and I was running literally as hard as I could, and I felt it for 2 days afterwards. So it just shows you may think, oh, he's just plodding along. I could probably do that. Yeah, I don't think so. Just things can be deceiving, as we see the first of the Taylor sisters, that is Alice, clearing comfortably at 1.61 m. Alexandra Highland cleared as well at her first attempt at 1.61 m. And here is Maddie Wilson. She's done javelin, discus, shot put, sprints, won the gold medal in the hurdles, won a bronze medal in the under-20 high jump. A name to very much just put down and note. decathlete, the combined events. There's the doyen. There is Terry Lomax, one of her charges. So here comes Matthew Rogers. Last time, that's an attack at Sundown. Did well, gets a nice round of applause. Was there a small smile there? There may have been.
That was the relief of fuel. I'm going to get a bronze medal. We can finish this one.
He's battling so hard at the moment, Matthew, but as you say, still turning around 4-minute Ks, which is a really good click. He comes down as the under 20 men's steeplechase is done.
You can tell he's hurting. He just wants to get this one finished. He's going to go home with a bronze medal.
And it's a deserved bronze medal because this is a big effort from Matthew. Gets a nice round of applause too. And great to see Dan Vanderpreet waiting for him at the finish line, and he'll be one of the first ones to come over, the first one to come over. Nice pat on the back. Well done, he says, young man. As we see now the bar, everyone's cleared at 1.61 metre, so that's Kelsey O'Hagan out of Canterbury with her first clearance, her first attempt at 1.66 metre, and she clears nicely. So off and rolling now in the women's senior high jump final. A lot of the athletes, if you were with us on day one of the Jennian Homes New Zealand Track and Field Championships, that you would have seen. The Taylor sisters and Wilson.
Josie Taylor going clear at 173 to win the under-20s title, and there she is, nice and clean, getting her day underway. No cobwebs to dust off from yesterday, so looking like she's nice and poppy this morning.
Here is Alexandra Hyland, who after missing her first attempt at 1.56 metre, she has cleared at 1.61 and now over nicely at 1.66 metre as well. We come back now to Imogen Skelton. This is her first jump. Having set her marker in at 1.66. Also Josephine Reeves coming into the competition at 1.66 as well out of Wellington. Skelton up, and that's a nice clearance to start her afternoon's work.
So Imogen was just bumped out of the medals last year in this event, but back in 2019 she took the silver. So I'm sure she would love to get back into that top three.
So here is the 1,500 metres wheelchair final. It'll feature Sarah James and Montana Brown, and also as well the sole male entrance, which is Jaden Mulvold. So there they are over at the start. 3 3/4 laps of the Hawke's Bay Regional Sports Park track. Now we have just seen a miss for Alice Taylor, missing with her first attempt at 1.66 metre. And there is Josephine Reeves. This is her first attempt, coming in at 1.66 metre. And that's just a nice, comfortable wee warm-up jump, it looks like, for Josephine.
Yeah, we saw a lot of Josephine. Well, last year she was the national champ, and the year before she was the national senior champ and the junior champ. But we haven't seen a lot of her this summer. She's been sitting sort of ranked 5th in the country, just her best of 174, and that's behind Josie Taylor's best of 185. So that shows you the sort of the difference that has existed so far this summer. Keely O'Hagan, the only other athlete this year to be up in the 180s with a 180.
So misses in that round of jumps there for Alice Taylor and Maddie Wilson. There is Alice making no mistake the second time around. So Alice will attack from the left-hand side of your screen, her sister Josie. She will be making her jumps from the right-hand side as we look at it from our camera position. Here is Jaden Mulvold just doing some final warm-ups. There is Maddie Wilson now, 1.66 metre. what odds do you give that she's got to run a leg of the 4x400 metres as well?
I think it's absolutely guaranteed.
I was about to say, I'd say it's, just about had that one too, and she knows she just about had it. Just clipped it lower part of the back by the looks. She was over. The way Maddie Wilson's been going about work, she'll probably run 2 legs. Wouldn't think twice of doing it. So there you see your competitors here in the men's and women's senior para over 1,500 metres. So Jaden Mulvold in the blue. And away they go. So in addition to what we saw for the 400, they're going to have to do a bit of steering as well with regards to this. And then you just see Jaden just make the adjustment onto his chair and make a little adjustment here and there as they come around now. Here's Maddie Wilson, last attempt was at 166. And so that will end Maddie Wilson's involvement in the senior women's high jump. Definitely won't end her involvement in this championship if what she's done over the first day and a quarter is anything to go by. So Mulvold is leading them through. And we go back to Montana Brown and Peters. There you see. So here's Montana Brown leading them through. This is Jaden Mulvold. Again, you see him just making those adjustments. And they head down, so a little bit lower, so maybe slightly less affected by the breeze, though I'm sure it's not all beer and skittles. And you see him making those adjustments that need to be made. Make sure that he gets around on a good angle. Of course, every once in a while, if you put it, you can just see the front wheel lift ever so slightly. He's driving hard down this home straight. Now back across the bar, now up at 1.71 metre, and that is Kelly O'Hagan missing in her first attempt. Mulvold leading through. He's got 2 laps to go. As you see the ladies chasing, Brown and James. So good time at the moment as they go through. As he heads down the back straight there, around 2.5 so far through 800 metres. So Jaden Mulvold. Strength there, just needs to make that adjustment. Get him back on track. Slipping ever so slightly. Here is Josie Taylor, and she misses with her first attempt at 1.71 metre. The bar creeping up over there in the senior women's high jump final as Mulvold comes around that top bend. He'll come down and take the bell this time around. There he is. Again, you see the adjustments that he continually makes. Make sure he stays in the direction as we go back to James and Brown. Down that far, you heard the bell in the background there. It's Jaden. Works through that turn one more time.
He's doing a great race here, Jaden. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to watch some exciting racing, it's to be sure to book in and watch the Paralympics distance wheelchair events, because they're like a cycle race around the velodrome, with everyone just going hell for leather and passing around bends and all sorts of, it's a very exciting event. I remember being at the London Paralympics watching the the British athlete win the 5,000 metre wheelchair competition, and I've never been in a crowd so electric as that Paralympic event. It was incredible to watch live. So be sure to watch that when the Paralympics come around later this year. And here comes Jaden Movold, one of our promising talents in the wheelchair events, powering home to the finish. Here he is. He's going to take home another gold medal. And he's going to come through under 5 minutes. It's a good solid time, 4:49. It looked from my eye.
It was nice as well just to see the ceremony for the senior men's steep. Welcome into the final session of the 2021 Jennian Homes New Zealand Track and Field Championships. We're at the Hawke's Bay Regional Sports Park, and that there is a clearance over a height of 1.71 metre by Josie Taylor of Waikato Bay of Plenty. That is the senior women's high jump final. Let's have a look at what you can expect to see over the next couple of hours. That women's high jump final, well progressed. The 200 metres finals for both men and women in the under 20. 1500 metres final as well in that under 20s. And then we've got the 200, 1500 for the senior men and women. And the senior men, well, a lot of big names missing. It's a case of we really don't know. The senior women, all the big guns are there, and that's going to be a heck of a go. 1500 metres will be a interesting challenge. That's Imogen Skelton on your screen. She has had one miss at the mark of 1.71 metre. She is about to have her second attempt at that in the senior women's high jump.
So we've got 6 athletes left in this field for the senior women. So the bar's set at 171. 3 have gone clear, with Josephine Reeves in the lead. She's got a nice clean slate at the moment. Keely O'Hagan and Josie Taylor both clear, and there we go. Imogen Skelton goes over in her second attempt. So Alice Taylor and Alexandra Highland needing to do the catching up as we see the para 1500. These boys getting into their work on their first lap.
So that is Jasper Moss in the colour of Canterbury, the hometown Hawke's Bay Gisborne colour there in the black. That is Guy Harrison. And so 3 3/4 laps of the Hawke's Bay Regional Sports Park track.
And if you're unfamiliar with how the para-athletics work in the New Zealand Championships, it's based on a percentage of world record based on the particular classification that you're in. So we'll see multiple classifications in the same event, and then the calculations are done based on the percentage of the world record, and then the person who comes out with the best percentage wins the event. So it's not necessarily who wins on the racetrack, but afterwards, once we've punched all the numbers.
You just saw Alexandra Highland missing, so she is out at the bar at 1.71 metre.
So So she'll finish in 6th place with 5 athletes left in the game.
So first 400 metres there for Jasper Moss, going through in around 1:25. And so you see he's just trying to get him set into a nice rhythm. The wind has started to gust a little bit. It's lovely and clear, just a little bit of white wispy cloud overhead, but the wind has got quite gusty at times. And we have had wind strengths in terms of metres per second gusting up to around 3, in some cases 4. So here is Alice Taylor. And she goes out as well at 1:71.
So she was the silver medalist for the under-20s yesterday. So she goes out, leaves her sister Josie to keep the Taylor family's hopes alive in the senior women's competition. So just 4 women progress up to 175 on the bar.
Yeah, the person who was cleared at both of her attempts, one at 166, 171, that is Josephine Reeves. And then the next two, next three I should say, Imogen Skelton, Josie Taylor and Kelly O'Hagan, all of them had one miss at 7:71 as the bar now goes up by 4 centimetres to 1:75. And it'll be Kelly O'Hagan who gets the first crack as Jasper Moss punches his way up into this blustery breeze. So it's Moss from Guy Harrison. It's a gap of around 50 metres from Jasper. Back to Guy. You see Guy really leaning into the breeze.
Kelly O'Hagan about to attempt her first attempt at 175.
Comes past our camera position. That's around the 200 metre mark, and you'll see the camera used when the sprints get underway very shortly. This is Kelly O'Hagan. That's a nice first up clearance at 1:75, and she's got every right to clap herself.
Yeah, and important, what that means is she's got a nice clean record for that height. So going clear on her first attempt, because she missed 171 on the first attempt, whereas Josephine Reeves went over clearly. So she's very happy with that. 2 times national champ, got 5th at the World Uni Games in 2019. Personal best of 185.
And there's Josie Taylor. She caught that on the way up. She won't be happy with that at all. One half of the 2 Taylor sisters who jumped very well.
Yeah, 173 yesterday was her best. So a couple of centimetres on top of that this time.
There is the bell lap having been received by Jasper Moss and Guy Harrison. Jasper just goes past with Imogen Skelton in the background. Imogen the next jumper. There you are. And she's got 175. And then Josephine Reeves, who's been clean to this point. So 250 metres to go down the back straight for Jasper as Imogen moves in. She looks up. You can just see the way. You see the reaction sometimes. I was like, no, just about. I knew I had most over and then just caught it. So she'll be pleased with certain aspects of it, knowing that it's not going to take too much to clear that height, but it is a miss.
She knows how to win at nationals. She's got 2 junior titles to her name, but stepping up into the senior ranks now. And she also went to those World Uni Games back in 2019 as well.
Here is Jasper Moss.
Big kick for the finish.
Yeah, and rightfully so. Breeze at his back too.
Yeah, sees the finish line, gets that good kick up the backside and steps on the gas. Here he comes. He's going to be the first across the line. 5:31, and we'll need to wait and see what that means in terms of percentage of world record.
Guy Harrison coming through as well. The local crowd to give the man from Gisborne Hawke's Bay a nice rap, and they do. And he goes around 5:46.
He has a good look at that clock as he crosses the line.
Josephine Reeve has just cleared at 1:75, so
she's having a good day.
Here we go.
Very good day at the office.
Let's have a look at these images coming in via our good friends at the Stream Shop. Oh, that's nice.
As I said, she hasn't had the best summer she's ever had in her life, but these are promising signs for Josephine. Things may be just falling into place at the right time of the season.
So just on count back at the moment, Josephine with no misses. For Kelsey O'Hagan, she had the one miss at 1.71 m, so Josephine ahead on count back.
Oh no, not that time.
The elevation and the lift just not there for Josie at the moment. Of course, she was part of that very good under-20s competition yesterday, featuring her sister Alice and also Maddie Wilson. Maddie having bowed out with the bar at 1.66 m. So Imogen Skelton with another crack at 1.75 m. Trying to get the spring in the legs. Not too far away as well from the 200 metres finals getting underway, under 20 and senior. As we say, we will see another great opportunity for a young male sprinter to claim, as Skelton missed, to claim a national championship.
That was her second attempt at 175. So it's close, and she sort of had that expression again of, oh, I've got it in me.
Well, here you go. This is the under-20 women's 200 metres final. It's Celia Ward of Tasman in lane 1, Hayley Bond in lane number 2, Emma Douglas is in 3, Maya Broughton is in 4, and Maya was running very well this morning. Holly Rule of Northland in 5, Taylor Brunger, Waikato Bay of Plenty 6, Jenna Maples, Minotu Wanganui in 7, and Brianna Irving.
So can
Gisborne.
Can Taylor Brunger do the double? She won the 100 metres yesterday. Can she do that magic double?
Well, she's made a great start, but also making a great start too is Maya Broughton, and it's going to be Brunger and Broughton in lanes 6 and 4 leading them in. Broughton with the advantage at the moment. Taylor Brunger's a racer though, and she's bringing it to a 2. Broughton though looks like she's just got the edge, and it will be Maya Broughton from Taylor Brunger, and I think there might be Emma Douglas sneaking through for the bronze medal.
Yes, it looked like that to my eye as well, and what a run. Maya Broughton, Taylor looked like she may have got the best of the early part of the bend, but coming off the bend, Maya really got into her work, used that strength that we know she's got from the 400, and really used that tailwind to maintain her speed and just held off Taylor. So Maya adds a gold to her bronze from the 100. Look at that early work from Taylor Brunger out of the blocks, but same 2 from 2-2-1, Maya Broughton. And look at this, great technique, using that arm drive to power up the legs. You can look at that good forward hip position, maintaining that good contact with the ground. Beautiful running there from Maya. She'll be your under-20 champion, 24-21. Taylor Brunger, 24-57. Emma Douglas confirmed as our bronze medalist, 25-09.
So let's head back now to the high jump.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good clearance.
Oh, yeah.
And here's the other one as well. Pressure on for both of those young ladies there as Josie Taylor and Imogen Skelton deliver on their final attempt at 1.75 m.
This competition is alive.
The bar now goes up to 1.79 m as we see the finalists in the under-20 men's 200 metres make their way down to the start.
So this women's high jump competition, we've got 4 women left in the competition. Keely O'Hagan, she's had one miss at 171, but clear first time at 175. Josephine Reeves has just the perfect record. There you go, absolutely clear. But then Imogen Skelton and Josie Taylor having to go the hard route, both with exactly the same situation. So they may have a bit of a jump-off situation if it comes to it for the third place. But at the moment, we've got 4 women left in it. One of them will go home empty-handed in the senior women's competition. But who will take the honours for the win?
First attempt at 1.79 m for O'Hagan. Yeah, nice smile, and justifiably so. Just looks back at everyone and goes, all right, there you go. There's your marker, ladies. I'm going to go have a chat with my coach.
2-time national champ. She knows how to win this one. But so does Josephine Reeves. She's won this one twice as well.
Here is Josie Taylor. 1.79 m on the bar. best of 181, I think I remember Hayden Sherman pointing out a few moments ago.
Yeah, 185 is her
185, there we
personal
are.
best, which was set earlier this year. But of course, conditions okay, but not all time in terms of just that wind affecting things. Temperatures are probably, about 21, 22 under here in the grandstand. It's pretty cool, but out there in the sun it'll be nice and comfy. Here she goes, takes it down with her hand. Now that's one of those psychological things where you're not getting a good shot at it, so it's hard to go back to the coach and say, what do we do? Was it the run-up? Was it the approach? You often want to give it a good shot so you got something to work with.
So, it'll be now Imogen Skelton. Here is the field for the men's under 20 200 metres final. This is a good field. Ethan Wallace, Flynn Johnston, Max Brebner, John Wells, Tommy Tapuni, Dominic Overend, Ethan Calder-Cass and Matthew Roger. Some serious wheels in that octet. Here comes Imogen Skelton, who's got some hops. Oh, again, another good attempt.
She's had a few like that today.
She has.
Good attempts at it. So, yeah, this 200 metre, boy, we're in for a treat here. We've got Tommy Tapuni, the champion from the 100 metres, but outside him, Dominic Overend, second place in the 100 metres yesterday. And then on the inside, Ethan Wallace was the bronze medalist. So all these boys back to battle it out in the 200. So it's a good, strong field for this under-20s 200 metres.
Here is Josephine Reeves. So far she has cleared every height at her first attempt. So she's cleared 1.66 metre, 1.71 metre, and 1.75 metre. Perfect to this point of the competition. Young lady out of Wellington. Very deliberate. And away.
Oh, just looked like she had to change her run up there right in those last couple of steps. Maybe felt she was a bit too close to the bar and just adjusting her angle. As we see these boys getting ready.
That is Dominic Overend in the middle of your screen, and outside him you see Ethan Calder-Cass. That's Matthew Roger. They occupy lanes 6, 7 and 8. Wallace from Waikato Bay of Plenty will be lane number 1 as we track back across. There you see the tall frame of Tommy Tapuni out of Auckland. Inside of him from Canterbury, John Wells. Then Max Bremner, the moustache and the man bun. Lane number 3, just out of your shot at the moment, is Flynn Johnston of Manawatu Whanganui and Ethan Wallace of Waikato Bay of Plenty. He's in lane 1.
So expect a good start from Dominic Overend, the under-17 100 metre record holder for New Zealand. But once those big strides of Tommy Tapuni get going, it'll be hard for anyone to hold on to him, especially with that good tailwind at his back. So with that good start is Dominic Overend, but quickly coming up on his inside is Tommy Tapuni.
Tapuni's going to lead them round that bend. Overend sticking with him, though. It's the two Aucklanders who have cleared out. Straight foot race now. Tapuni starts to get that longer stride going. That's a powerful performance, Tommy Tapuni. Overend second. Then I think it might have just been Wells taking the bronze. But that is a lovely display of sprinting by Tommy Tapuni.
Beautiful. And I think it almost helped having Dominic Overend to give him that kick out of the gate. Good, strong start from Dominic. And then once Tommy got up to speed, he just powered off that bend. Look at that. Just a shave of the bar. And that is her weekend's best.
Doesn't matter if it wobbles. Just got to stay on. Here we go. We have another look. And you were right, Hayden. Overend made the great start, but it's a great bend by Tapuni, and he just gets up. And at this point, he starts to extend, and that's just a beautiful sprinting form.
Puts up his spinnaker, uses the tailwind to blow him home. Look at those big strides. He's really made as a 200 metre runner and potentially 400, who knows. But Yeah, good speed endurance over those last 50 metres to see him burst through and claim the double.
Yes, 100 and 200 metres under 20 men's titleist, Tommy Tapuni. Yes, he is the son of, for those slightly older and who were asking. Very, very talented athlete. Very talented athletics family. Time as well, 21.46 for Tommy Tapuni.
It's close to his best this year, 21.42.
Pretty strong in terms of the wind as well, though, 3.2. This is the field for the final of the under 20 women's 1,500 metres. Amanda Charlotte, Hannah Gapes, who had a great run in claiming a medal yesterday. Neve Molai, Tilly Hollier, Kimberly May, Chloe Brown, Rosa Twyford. We move on to the second page. You see the second of the Brown sisters and Bella, Holly Harding. This is a very good field over 1,500 metres. And a big one as well. 15 competitors as here we see Stephanie cruising over. Sorry, Josephine, I should say. Josephine Reeve clearing. And so over on the second attempt, so we have seen O'Hagan clear, Taylor clear, and now Reeves clear. So Skelton will have one last opportunity. There we see this field gathering at the 1,500 metres mark.
So keep an eye out for those two Brown sisters, Chloe Brown and Bella Brown. Circling a few other names there. Peyton Lee was the champion from last year in the under 18s, sorry. So keep an eye out for her. And there's some great names just reading through the list. Hannah Gapes, of course, coming back from her win in the 5,000 metres. Be interesting to see how tired her legs are after that front-running display we saw yesterday. But she had a great win in the 1,500 at the New Zealand secondary schools back in December. That was ahead of the likes of Kim May and Peyton Lee, who are in this race.
Tilly Hollier just muscling her way to the front, though, as it looked like they were going to sort of slow things down, and Tilly said, no, let's at least stride it out a little bit there. So Tilly with the advantage from Peyton Lee. Then you go back to Kimberly May, who is in fourth spot. That's bib 147. 144 is Peyton Lee. But it is Tilly Hollier at the moment who is leading this group down the main straight. Going at, you wouldn't say express pace, but it's a reasonable clip.
Yeah, definitely not lightning, and you can sort of see by the bunching, so going through the first 356 seconds. So, yeah, definitely not all out. Reasonably comfortable. So good move from her to just go from the front, make sure it's not an absolute dawdle, and we'll get a good look at the pace as they come through 400 metres now in 1:15. So a lot of these women more than capable of going under 4:30 at their best. So that would put them at about 1:12 per lap that they'd be comfortable at looking at. So nice steady start to get things underway. And there's a lot of favourites for this competition. I'd hate to call who's the hot favourite. You can see Hannah Gapes there just sitting at the back with those potentially tired legs from yesterday.
Kelly O'Hagan missing at 1.83 the first attempt, the bar at 183 in the women's senior high jump. It's still Tilly Hollier who's leading, and now we just see a few pushes here. This is
Peyton Lee just coming up on the shoulder, so she's the under 18 champ from last year.
Kimberly May as well being pushed out a little bit as they try and go three wide, as again they just bunch up slightly. Sorry, Hayden.
Yeah, I was just going to say Peyton Lee's had a great last 18 months or so, claiming that the double last year at the national champs with the 3,000 metre under 18 title and the 1,500 metre title. But yeah, bunching up now as Peyton Lee takes the lead. So they've gone through 2 laps in a tick over 2 minutes 30. So definitely not electric. Hannah Gapes coming wide. And this is one of those tricky situations where you've got 500 metres left to run and you can find yourself in trouble. You can get spiked. There'll be elbows flying all over the place. Always tricky to keep your focus and make sure you don't trip up on the legs in front. Penelope Salmon making a bit of a move with 600 to go.
Well, this has just spread the field out a little bit, this move here by Penelope. So she's coming down, and the bell awaits this field. This is the under-20 1,500 metres women's final. So Penelope Salmon has gone at about 600 out, and she has the advantage at the moment from Kimberly May. Then it's back to Brianna Lee. Now we're starting to see Hannah Gapes. You're seeing her at 4.25 from Waikato Bay of Plenty. She's put on a big spurt with 400 to go. So Salmon kicking at the 600. Gapes has gone at 4. And now here comes another big move as well.
Oh, this
is that one of the Brown sisters? Yes,
yeah.
It is.
Look at this big, strong move. Powering through. Is that Chloe? What a move.
Actually, no, that's Bella.
It's Bella Brown coming through. So this is an incredible move from Bella, just absolutely laying that kick down after Penelope Salmon went with 600 to go. This is a huge kick. She's already opened up about 15, 20 metres on Penelope and just pulling away. What a turn of speed.
She leads them into the home straight. She has just absolutely brained them. What a great move by Bella Brown. And she is going to canter down and claim the women's 1,500 metres under 20 title. That is a super race.
Big battle for second. Hannah Gapes coming through. It's going to be Bella Brown. She's going to win. Penelope Salmon, after that big move, is going to get second. And Hannah Gapes adds to her gold medal with a bronze. But what a finish. Now, I've written down 3:25 because that's when Penelope went through the bell, and I'm keen to see what this last lap was for Bella Brown. Her sister comes and gives her a big embrace, and so she should. She should be very proud of her twin. What a final lap. With 300 to go, she came from nowhere. Look at that big smile on her face.
That's a smile of someone who knows that she got the game plan right, she's executed to perfection, and just absolutely destroyed them over the final 400.
So I make that about a 64-second last lap, which is 4-minute pace for the 1,500. So that's a great last lap for her, and she was back in the pack, so that could have been more like 62, 63.
I can tell you
what a performance.
Great performance. I can tell you as well, as we head back to the women's senior high jump final, all three remaining athletes have missed at 1.83 m. And that's another miss for Kelsey O'Hagan. So,
yeah, 2 misses for Kelsey, 1 miss for Josie, and 1 miss for Josephine Reeves. So at the moment it is, well, I was going to say Kelsey O'Hagan has the cleaner record more recently, so that would put her in first. But if Josephine goes on this next jump of hers, that would put her back into first place. So interesting situation. Josie Taylor currently on screen, sitting in third place. But again, if she goes clear, that will put her in pole position. No, not with this one.
Caught that one with the arm as she went up. So there you are. There's the field for the men's 1,500 metres, the under-20s. You saw the field up on the screen just a few moments ago. So Rowe, Potts, Allett, Tohia, Bidwar, Smolge, Watermouth, Harding, Clark, Taylor, Conda, Carr, Hitchcock and Anthony. A few of those athletes already having claimed medals, and of course Will Anthony just dominating the 5,000. There he is on the outside and looking to cut across and lead them through. So it is Will Anthony heading to the front. Amazing performance yesterday in the 5,000 metres. Jumping on to his right shoulder, that is Luke Hitchcock.
So, yeah, good move from Will Anthony to take this out hard. He did the same with the 5K and ran away with it because he knows that behind him is the likes of Zane Powell, who can seriously kick down, and James Harding right on his tail as well. Maybe, is there Zane in the race? I'm just trying to
no, he's not in the field, not listed in the field as they go through the first 300 metres, and we'll get a split on what they're running as they come around to complete the first 400 metres. Another miss there for Josephine Reeves, and they're going to come through that first 400 in about 61 seconds, so good clip that Anthony is leading them through. So it's Anthony from Hitchcock. Then we go back to Harding. Then looks like it's Ben Bidwell that's dropped into that 4th spot in the running line as they go single file down the back straight at the 200-metre mark.
Yeah, so apologies to Zane Powell. It must have been a scratching. Probably at home watching this one unfold and watching his teammate just in 3rd place there, James Harding, who's probably better known for his 800-metre prowess, and that would be one of the good reasons why the man on screen leading things out has decided to put the foot down and really go for it right from the gun.
So as they come through, 2 laps to go, 700 complete in the 1500 metres men's under 20 final. And Will Anthony, who already has a gold medal to his name from day one of the Jennian Holmes New Zealand Track and Field Championship. But Hitchcock right behind him, then Harding. Final attempt for O'Hagan, and she misses. So she misses at 1 metre 83.
So 2:05 at 800 metres. So the pace is nice and quick. This is well under 4-minute pace. So hence why it's just 4 men left in the race, really spreading things out. So great front running display.
Well, Bidwell trying to hang on to the back of it at the moment. Will Anthony just looks so comfortable. That is just a lovely gate. Continues to work. Hitchcock looking comfy there. Harding looks like he's blowing a little bit. Bidwell trying to hold on to the back of it as he heads down the main straight. And the bell awaits the competitors here in the 1500 metres under 20. Now we see Harding look to come to the outside. Bell lap, 400 to go as James Harding makes his move around Will Anthony. Anthony has to check. Now Hitchcock goes with him. Bidwell just falling slightly.
So James Harding, we know he's got the speed. He's a sub-150 man in the 800. He went through the bell at 2:52, so it'll be interesting to see what he splits and if anyone can go with him. At the moment, just pulling away from Will Anthony, who's done all the work in this race so far. He's been the front-running man of the weekend so far with 200 metres to go. So here we go, James Harding. Going into that headwind for the last time. He's going to come round this bend and then he'll see that finish line. Can he be the 1500 metre champ this weekend? Here we are, 100 metres left to run.
Anthony in behind, not closing the gap. Likewise, Hitchcock, who's trying to get round the outside. But James Harding puts the foot down. What do Anthony and Hitchcock have? Can they close the gap? No, they can't. This is James Harding. That's beautiful measured run. Hitchcock just on the line from Harding.
James Harding with the double, the 800, 1500 metre double in the weekend. What a run. Big last 400 metres from him after Will Anthony just collapses to the ground just off screen. And our runners come through and finish. What a weekend for James Harding. He goes and congratulates his Auckland teammates.
Well, Josephine Reeve has got a final attempt at 1 metre 83. If she clears, she wins in the women's senior high jump. So Reeve is attempting that right now. Here it is. This to win.
Oh!
Right there. There's your national champion. That's how you do it.
There we go. 3 times national champion Josephine Reeves. Take a bow. That is incredible, and I'm sure that'll mean so much to her to come back. You can see the emotion, and she's had a tough summer. She's been struggling to find that form, but here she found it with that jump. There it is, national title in the bag.
Well, how many times over the course of the last 2 days have we seen that? Someone who's had to maybe deliver under a little bit of pressure or wants to deliver with their final jump or needs to deliver with their final throw. We've seen it a couple of times, and that's another example. And Josephine Reeve clears at 1 metre 83. And it'll be interesting to see whether she chooses to continue, maybe adds another couple of centimetres to the bar. As you see, Zoe Hobbs getting ready for the final of the women's 200 metres. She'll run out of lane 5. Diana Gelderman in 1, Helena Dennison in lane 2, Anna Percy in lane number 3, Brianna Stevenson in 4, Zoe Hobbs in 5, Georgia Hulls in 6, Lucy Sheet in 7, Brooke Summerfield in 8. Georgia Hulls has been very impressive over the 200 metres. And whilst that lady, yes, did equal the record of Michelle Seymour over 100 metres, this is the event where Georgia Hulls has had the slight edge. But the other one as well, when we were going through this particular field, you've got to look at the likes of Anna Percy, who's been very impressive too. You wouldn't count out the likes of Brianna Stevenson. This is a really stacked field as Zoe Hobbs looks to try and do the 100-200 double. But you'd probably say she doesn't really start as the out-and-out favourite for this particular event. Here is Zoe. So just seeing whether the bar is going up, and yes, it is going up. So Josephine Reeves is looking to continue in the women's senior high jump. She's going to put the bar up to 1.87 metre. There's a good breeze blowing at the moment. Interesting to see some of the numbers coming through from that 1,500 metres for men. It's a plus of 4.2 metres per second. Remember, the legal limit is being less than 2 metres. So it'll be interesting to see. There should be some pretty quick times.
Yeah, so confirmation I got. James Harding split at about 58, maybe 57 seconds high, which is pretty solid to finish after a reasonably quickly paced race. Good setup from Will Anthony, and you know, to be honest, that's just smart running from Will Anthony. He knew he didn't want to leave it to a kick, so just go to the front, make it an honest race, and comes away with a silver medal to add to his 5,000 metre gold yesterday.
Well, what was
Good
even
weekend.
What was interesting to me, I was looking at the time there of James Harding, and you know, it's a 350, and it's a run at a reasonable clip. You look at what the record for under 20s over 1,500 metres is Sam Tanner, 3 minutes 38. So just another reminder of the talent of that young man. Obviously is over in the United States at the moment. There's Ethan Walker from Otago, the men's javelin senior. So that's a throw around that 50 metre mark. They are throwing into that reasonably stiffish breeze, the senior gentlemen. Again, we're seeing quite a few of the multi-eventers. There is your high jump champion for the senior women's for 2021, Josephine Reeves. Bar up to 1.87 metre. Well, here we are, we're underway in the final. Great start by Hobbs. Hulls to the outside. That's a really good start by Hulls, but this is the part where Hulls starts to get her work on Hobbs. Hobbs is going to lead them in. Stevenson on the inside. Now Georgia Hulls. She's got up on the toes and she is pulling away. That is a hometown victory and the locals love it. Georgia Hulls wins. Hobbs seconds. Stevenson gets the bronze. But that is an outstanding performance by Georgia Hulls.
Turns on the rockets in that home straight. Wow, did you see just that amazing ability to get to full speed and hold it? The 200 metres is a matter of who can hold on to, who can slow down the slowest, if that makes sense. How long can you hold on to that top end pace? So here it was all about Zoe Hobbs. She had the better start. She had the best of the bend, coming right up onto the shoulder of Georgia. And at this point, I'm like, how on earth can Georgia pull this one back? Because once you make up for the stagger, Zoe had a good lead, but that speed endurance came into it. And look at that ability for Georgia on her home turf to come away, pull away from the enormously talented Zoe Hobbs, the queen of sprinting in New Zealand, pull away and win a 200 metre national title. Well, I'm sure Zoe won't be too displeased with that. Her focus has been the 100, and she'll be, I'm sure, very happy for Georgia. But what a run from Georgia Hulls.
You see Zoe, but Georgia Hulls, and that will mean a lot to her. And her, you'd say the better of the two sprinting events for Georgia at home in front of the locals here, of course, representing Hawke's Bay Gisborne. It'll be pretty tough. Brianna Stevenson will be wrapped as well, getting a bronze medal on that one. Just a shame, the late scratching that we didn't see. Unfortunately, no Anna Percy, who I actually thought could have been a real contender on that one myself. So disappointing for and who, again, another athlete who's had a great weekend as we look at the field for the men's 200 metres. Grobby, Nye, Paul, Sauce, Wilson, Cotton and Kozlov. And, well, this could be really an even old affair. As I can tell you that Reeve having a crack at 1.87 m, and that is her first attempt. So there is Saravi Sauce. The shades and the golden hair out of Wellington. He's in lane number 5. There you see Bailey Cotton. It's Jake Paul with the red hair just tied back into the little bun behind. I think he's got the cornrows actually going. As you see, some of the medal presentations for Sarah James and Montana Brown. Nigel Avery still looks like he could probably pick me up and throw me over his head. Always in great shape. Great to see Nigel here and doing some of the presentation. There he is, outstanding athlete with track and weightlifting. Here is the Michael Mitchell out of Otago, waiting his turn on the javelin runway for the senior men's. I say, throwing into a reasonably healthy breeze. So the full field for the men's 200 metres again. 2 Cantabrians in the inside lane. That's Brad Gruby and Elliot Nye. Elliot Nye's had a pretty good weekend. Then it's 3 Wellingtonians. Jake Paul is in lane 4. Saravi Sauce, the man on your screen, in lane number 5. And Cody Wilson will be outside of him in lane number 6.
So Elliot
Nye, another Wellingtonian, and Josephine Reeves preparing for her second attempt at 1.87 m.
Going through her processes. So, yeah, I was about to say Elliot Nye coming back from that bronze in the 100, and Cody Wilson in second place. They're probably the 2 big ones to watch. But also Bailey Cotton, he's often been in the sort of 5th, 6th range at the national champs, and I'm sure with Eddie Osei Nikitia not here, and Hamish Gill and no Tian, he'll be looking to get his hands on a medal as well.
So Reeves, second attempt, 1.87 m.
Now this would be a personal best for Josephine.
No, that's actually her third. That's her third and last. Sorry, it has not updated. So I did actually just catch it there on the board that it was her third, but it's a national title for Josephine Reeves of Wellington. She claims the senior women's high jump title.
Great to see her back at her best and jumping so well. So yeah, walk home with the 3 in a row, the hat trick of national women's high jump titles. And as we just wait for the start, some of our athletes finding a moment to have a little sit down. Why not? It's been a big weekend for these sprinters, and they're probably aware they'll get the call up for the 4x4 shortly.
Yeah, well, that's always fun to finish. So as the javelin continues, we continue to wait on the 200 metres. We'll just take a short break and be back with our coverage of the Jennian Homes New Zealand Track and Field Championships of 2021, 200 metres final, not too far away.
Jennian Homes have been proudly building the homes New Zealanders love for over 35 years and encouraging youth to achieve their hopes and dreams. Jennian Homes is proud to partner with the New Zealand Olympic Games team.
Aon has been helping Kiwis strive for sporting success for over 20 years. As New Zealand's leading insurance broker, we can also support you when it comes to your insurance. Expert advice and local service. Talk to your local Aon insurance broker today.
We know a country where the food offering spans from pick your own to picking it up from a roadside stall or farmer's market, to taking your pick from restaurant menus that are as good as anywhere in the world. and so is the wine. But this country is not too far away at all. And yes, you are very, very welcome to travel here. This country is food and wine country, but you probably know it as Hawke's Bay.
So there is the starting blocks for the men's 200 metres, the senior. There you see the under-20 hammer throw medalists. Liam and Chock Wolf from Huntingdale and Max Abbott. Nice, real great smile on the face of Liam, who's had a busy old weekend, and nice to get the gold medal around his neck. So there they are from the inside. Brad Gruby, Canterbury. Elliot Nye, Canterbury. Jake Paul, Wellington. Saravi Sos, Wellington. Cody Wilson of Wellington. Bailey Cotton, Waikato Bay of Plenty. George Kozlov, the sole Aucklander. There is Sos.
So eyes on lane 3 and lane 6. Elliot Nye, Cody Wilson, your silver medalists and bronze medalists from the 100 metres. Let's see if they can add to that.
Good start by Paul, actually out of lane number 4. But here comes Nye on the inside. And it looks like Elliot could be one leading them in. Cody Wilson, 2. Wilson has the slight advantage down this outside. Now he really starts to extend Cody Wilson. It's over. It's done. It's dusted. It's his. Can Sos make it a Wellington 1-2? He may have. It'll be photos for second. But the only photo they'll be taking of Cody Wilson is one with a gold medal round his neck. Dead set brained them.
Epic from Cody Wilson, right from the gun. He got the start, he ran the bend, and he ran the home straight as well. Just a complete performance. 21.30. That's a fantastic time.
Bailey Cotton getting second, excuse me.
Oh, and Saravi Sos comes through for third, pipping out Elliot Nye. So Bailey Cotton will take the silver. So look at this bend that Cody Wilson runs. Just eats away the turf and just puts meters between the rest of them. Just running in a league of his own at this stage, and just keeps on accelerating away. Makes sure he doesn't tie up in that last 30 meters. Over he goes, and look, just that good dip at the line.
Yes, it was, because they've actually credited the same time for both Cotton and Sos of 22.03, but 21.3 the time for Cody Wilson. 2.4 the wind speed in his favour. So outside the legal limit, but gee, that's still a very good time.
I mean, his best legal time this year for Cody Wilson was 21.76. So that's a huge improvement, even if you take out that 0.4 of a second over the limit for the wind. So there we go. Cody Wilson goes home with a silver in the 100 and a gold in the 200.
That's confirmation of the senior women's high jump results. Josephine Reeve taking out the title, and Keely O'Hagan and Josie Taylor in the silver and bronze medal positions. So now we are looking towards the senior 1500 metres women's as things start to just wind down. We've still got though 4x400 metres relays. They're always fun and games. That's still to go on the track, but these will be some of the final events that you will see here via Sky Sport Next and Sky Sport. There you see 415 Camille Buscombe just tucked in there behind Anika Grogan from Auckland. Camille, having finished third in the 800, won the 5,000. Let's just see as well, trying to see whether we have got Catherine Camp. She is listed on the back of her impressive 800 metre victory yesterday. And you see Rebecca Green also backing up as well. She was the silver medalist in the 800 with Camille Buscombe, the bronze medalist.
Yeah, what a field really with this women's 1500. Keep an eye out for Susanna Lynch as well. She's improved this year up to 421, which puts her in that league of the sort of the top 5 women in the country. So Camille Buscombe is definitely the woman to beat. But, of course, Catherine Camp has won this title before. She's done the double, the 8:1500 double. Can I see her in there? Yes, she's there. So everyone's here. The likes of Cara McDermott, who's focused on this event, and Rebecca Green. I'm sure she'll want to come back after a pretty solid 800 metres yesterday.
And there is Charlie Miller from Waikato Bay Plenty, 4:33. You see Maya Christini, 1:16.
Yeah, silver medal yesterday in the 5,000 metres. So all of the who's who of domestic middle distance running are lining up to take this blue ribbon title of the 1,500 metres. Of course, no Angie Petty this season. She's just having a little break for her domestic season. Not retired, hasn't hung up the shoes yet, so don't worry about that, everyone. I'm sure we'll see her soon.
So there is Catherine Camp on the back of that wonderful victory in the 800 metres. Great interview she did as well with Hayden post that. Had a really tough start to the season, but she is finishing it strongly. Off another quick warm-up again, just getting used to running into that breeze that they will be running straight into down that back straight. A few of the other athletes just going through their warm-ups. That's Bridget Dennehy. You just saw it sprinting out of her screen from the North Harbour Club. So we've got a start time for this. This time around 5 minutes away. Everyone just working their way through. All we've seen today is some excellent performances.
And you can see lots of the coaches sitting over there at the start line, and I wonder what the coaches have been saying to each of their athletes, because we've got different strengths coming into this. So the likes of Catherine Camp would most likely, after the 800, prefer a slower race and then use that speed to kick it down. But that woman just going through those little high knees drills, I imagine she would want this to be nice and quick and use that strength and blow the other woman out of the water and deaden their legs. So it'll be interesting. And then with the likes of Cara McDermott and there, Rebecca Green, us probably somewhere in between would be happy with either.
See a few of the group going for a bit of a jog. The training never finishes.
Yep, the Brown sisters there. After that epic kick down in the under 20s, 1,500 where Bella just took off.
There you see everyone just getting them all set. As I say, that's Charlie Miller there behind her, bib number 266. That's Laura Smith of Canterbury. There we see the medal presentation for the senior women's high jump.
We have the medal ceremony for the senior women's high jump, sponsored by TSB.
We're still a few minutes away from start time in that senior 1,500 metres. So Josie Taylor, there we go, as we head back over and we see there's Josie Taylor getting a bronze medal. Kelly O'Hagan, I should say, out of Canterbury.
Big weekend for her.
Yep. That's Nigel Avery doing the honours.
And a first place in New Zealand champion.
Josephine Reeves, the New Zealand champion yet again. Smile and bends down for Nigel to put the gold medal. Around and grabs it with two hands. Now the photos are taken. So over to the start. They're around about 20 metres back from where the start mark is for the 1,500 metres. 3 3/4 laps. Kerry White, 4:50. Here's Catherine Camp, 2:27. 2:60 is 2:62, I should say, is Jess Schofield out of Canterbury. So a field of 12 athletes.
So the 6 names that I've circled on my little list. So Maya Christini, silver medal yesterday. It depends how her legs are after that 5K. Catherine Camp, of course, we've talked a lot about. Cara McDermott, who we haven't seen a hang of a lot from this weekend, but she's been looking really strong all season long. Took out the 3,000 metre title, national title on this track back in January. Rebecca Green, of course, silver medal yesterday in the 800. Camille Buscombe, the absolute queen of New Zealand distance running right now. And then Susanna Lynch, who's just been improving so well this season.
You see Buscombe, 4:15. They keep tracking across. There's Rebecca Green, 3:51. There's Cara McDermott, 3:61 in the colours of, 3:16, I should say, in the colours of Manawatu Wanganui. They will be called forward. Final checks being done by our officials, and we have to say the officials have done a fantastic job, as per normal. Great to have all the officials and volunteers and the work they do to make these championships work. Obviously, the postponement made things even more awkward. So away we go.
Yeah, very quick hold there from the starters. Let's get it rolling and let's get this exciting race underway. I've been looking forward to this one for a long time, and the brakes go on as they're kind of 50 metres in, and who goes to the front? None other than Catherine Camp. So this is a bit of a reversal that we saw of the 800 yesterday, where it was the lady just behind her, Camille Buscombe, who went to the front, ended up getting passed by Catherine Camp for the win. But this time, Catherine Camp goes into the wind. Cara McDermott just on the shoulder of Camille Buscombe.
Yeah, inside rein there. Just trapped a little bit there is Rebecca Green. She won't be too worried about that. So Camp from Buscombe. Then you drop back to McDermott. Then Green just pushing up on the inside. Lynch there, 4:74. Just trying to move out and give herself a little bit of running space as we come down to complete the first 300 metres. The professor will have his calculator out very shortly. We'll get a 400 metre split for you and just get a rough estimate as to what sort of time that they will be looking at as they come up to complete that first 400, with Camp in front, Buscombe second, then it's McDermott, then it's Green, then Lynch. That's your top 5 through 400.
So 111 through the first 400. Now that was after that slow first 100 before Catherine Camp went to the front, started spreading things out. So we're seeing the top 6 athletes move up to the front there, with number 128 also looking nice and strong, Anika Grogan amongst that top 6. But it is Catherine Camp with Camille just nicely tucked in there, with Cara just on her shoulder. Still plenty more running left in this race, and I wonder if Catherine Camp's going to be left out there to do all the work, which will take a lot of the sting out of her kick at the end.
Well, you've got to say it's smart from the point of Camille Buscombe, a slightly slighter build compared to Catherine Camp, just to sit behind her, particularly punching into that breeze. Still got 2 laps to go. So McDermott now steps up and just runs on the right shoulder of Camp, who continues to lead them through as this half dozen athletes have made a clean break. So that's Camp from McDermott, from Buscombe, now Lynch, then it's back to Green, and still holding on there is Anika Grogan as they come through, having completed 800 metres. Now McDermott decides she's just going to put on a little bit of a spurt, and I think Camp says, okay, I won't actually mind if I get a little bit of pressure. Now she's just pushing back a little bit as McDermott ups the tempo. Lynch goes with her. Buscombe again goes third in the running line. Green, she slots into 4th, then Grogan, then Camp. Camp looks like she's battling a little bit to hold on to this group at the moment.
Good move there from Cara McDermott to go to the front. She knows the kick of some of these women here, particularly Rebecca Green, and obviously the strength of Camille Buscombe. So Rebecca Green coming around the outside, passing on the bend. That's a bold move as she makes her way up to the front. They've got 500 metres to run here, and Susanna Lynch just tucked in there. Camille Buscombe's coming wide as well. This is going to be interesting with 400 metres to run. They were on pace at 800 metres to run about 4:30. I'm sure that pace has been up. Rebecca Green hits the front with the bell. 3:13. Let's see how this unfolds for this last 400.
Now we're seeing Lynch move to the right shoulder of Green. Here comes Buscombe. McDermott looks like she's lost a little bit of way on. Camp's blowing out the back, so too Grogan. So it's Green from Lynch. Buscombe now still sitting there, getting the protection as they move up into that breeze. Green, though, asking the question. Now Buscombe, she's gritting her teeth. She's been really good over 1,500 metres. Now she gets up on the toes. Has she got a kick? Lynch has got a kick. Here comes Buscombe as well around that top bend. Lynch moves to the front. Green to the inside. Buscombe goes around now. This is a straight sprint. Bascom with a kick.
Is that
Camille
a little
with
smile
a kick.
from Camille, gritting her teeth? Look at this.
She leads them down the back straight. This is a very impressive performance. She's a 5 and 10 runner, and she is blowing them away in the 1500 metres. Double national champion Camille Bascom.
Wow, big battle here for second and third. Cara McDermott has come back from what I thought she'd been dropped, so she's going to pick up the third place. Susanna Lynch in second. What drama in the last 600 metres. And what a kick from Camille Bascom. We knew she had the strength, but did she have the kick? She was just so well placed over those first couple of laps, tucked in behind Catherine Camp, who had to do all that early work, and as we thought, she just had to do too much work into the wind, lost that kick. But Camille, I think she'll take so much from that kick, knowing that she can kick away from the best in New Zealand. That'll give her so much confidence when it comes to kicking in a 5K and a 10K. So look at this. This is with about, I think we had sort of 500
This is 500 to go, yeah.
So this was at the point when Rebecca Green made that bold move around the bend, and this was with about 200 to go. So Camille still had a lot of work to do. Susanna Lynch is just on the outside, just coming up on the outside. But this is where Camille just put on the burners, and off she goes to win the national title. So she'll head home with 2 golds.
And a bronze.
And a bronze from the 800. So she gets the triple in terms of medals, the double in terms of golds. Successful weekend for her.
As you say, I think it was the tactical now, so I think that'll probably put a bit of a smile on her face. Still hurting a wee bit.
I don't know if we can get a replay of that passing move that she did with about 100 to go. The way that she came off that bend just with oodles of speed.
Well, she has been doing things a little bit differently, as you've alluded to over the course of the weekend. Normally she and her partner, of course, 400 metres high hurdle champion, Cameron Friends, fiance I should say, they'd normally be based over in Bristol and Bath. Deciding to come back when COVID hit and modifying things just a wee bit. So there is Camille Bascom celebrating her 1500 metres. We'll be back shortly. The men's 1500, not too far away.
Jennian Homes have been proudly building the homes New Zealanders love for over 35 years and encouraging youth to achieve their hopes and dreams. Jennian Homes is proud to partner with the New Zealand Olympic Games team.
We know a country that will refresh you and recharge you and just make you feel a whole lot better about things. This country is food and wine country, but you probably know it as Hawke's Bay.
From the schoolyard to the stadium, Aon has been helping Kiwis strive for sporting success on a local, regional and national level for over 20 years. We're proud to support New Zealand's sporting organisations and communities up and down the country. As New Zealand's leading insurance broker, we can also support you when it comes to your insurance. With expert advice and local service. From quote to claim management, we're with you every step of the way. Talk to your local Aon insurance broker today.
So there you see the field for the senior men's 1500 metres. The breeze you can see there just giving you an indication of the wind strength. There we go, Noel McDermott, Liam Lamb, Matthew Taylor, Jared Lautenschlager, I should say. Ollie Chignall. See Tom Moulai as well. Seen the likes of Eric Speckman's name in there, Julian Oakley, Hamish Carson.
Yeah, so there's 4 key names that I've put big old squares around on my notes. So, and they are your sub 4 minute milers. So that's your sort of magic barrier to get to when you're talking about milers and metric milers. So Eric Speakman, the hometown boy, he is lining up alongside Ollie Chignell and Julian Oakley and Hamish Carson. Hamish Carson, he's won this event 6 times and he's hoping to book another place at in the Olympics in Tokyo this year. Went to Rio. It was a battle to get him to Rio. He travelled all around the world trying to find a race that he could notch up a qualifying time. Got within inches multiple times and eventually made the Olympics. So he's the one who knows how to win these titles. But Julian Oakley just next to him, he was second last year, that exciting race against Nick Willis. Eric Speakman, he was second at the Mile Champs behind Sam Tanner earlier in the year. Also keep an eye out for Benjamin Wall. He ran 4:03 that night, wearing the green of Manawatu Wanganui. And Matthew Taylor has also medalled in this event before.
So leading them out at the moment is Benjamin Wall from Manawatu Wanganui, and just slotting into the trail is Julian Oakley. 4.71 is Liam Lamb of Wellington as they move away in a very sedate pace. Carson, fall back in the running line there. Speckman just sticking to his shoulder. Carson easy to spot with the long hair.
This is funny that Benjamin Wall finds himself at the front because he's actually done quite a lot of pacemaking for the boys this year already on official pacemaking duties, but now he's sort of default into that position. So yeah, as you say, the pace definitely not on, just cruising around. So Benjamin Wall just happy to sit at the front as long as the pace is at this pace. But right now, Hamish Carson goes to the front and decides, well, if it's going to be this slow, I'm going to go to the front and just make sure I can control proceedings.
I think he actually, what he wanted, Hayden, was a little bit of space, because he got a bit of a shunt in the back from Noah McDermott going around that top bend. And then himself, you saw his arm just push out as well. I think he was just being cramped a little bit. He just wanted a bit of room. And he's finally got it. And now Oakley goes back up again on his outside shoulder as well.
Yeah, looking good as Julian Oakley on the outside. Liam Lamb from Wellington wearing the headband. He's featured prominently this season as well. As Julian Oakley moves to the front, or is he just sort of moving wide? So these boys going nice and wide, so they went through in 1:12. It was actually slower than the senior women, so gives you an idea when you see runners having to run in lane 3 to get wide as Laudenslager comes around with the headband. So he's a man to watch. He has been back from the States, so do keep an eye on that white headband and the white arm warmers.
Laudenslager leading Oakley. Then we go back to Carson. Then we can through that. Speckman, that's now up to 4th. Then on the inside is Benjamin Wall. Then it's back to Liam Lamb. McDermott still looking there too. Mulai is 2.52 out of Canterbury. Pace quickens. Everyone's sort of still hanging in there, though. This is a tight pack.
Yeah, expect this to be a very fast remaining 600 metres. It will kick down at some point, and it just really depends who's going to make the first move. Julian Oakley looks like he wants to get up there amongst it, but at the moment it's almost just wanting to control proceedings. Everyone's together. No one's been dropped currently. Good, strong field. Julian Oakley on the outside. Hamish Carson right behind him. Eric Speakman. Could we see the hometown boy take the title?
Well, here comes Carson now trying to get to the outside. Lamb, his Wellington teammate, going with him. Oakley now pushes to the front. Strides lengthen round that top bend for the final time. It's Oakley leading. Carson tracing. Then we go back to Lamb, then Speckman, then Wall, then McDermott, then Mulai. Still plenty to race for with just on 250 to go.
There was
the pace really quickens.
60-second lap as Julian Oakley really opens up. Now, Hamish Carson is a little bit boxed in here by Liam Lamb, who's running a fantastic race. Hamish is going to have to do a bit of work to get out of trouble. Eric Speakman just behind him. He's well positioned. Could he kick off the bend? But at the moment, Julian Oakley's looking good. Can he go one better than his silver from last year?
Watch out for Speakman, who's moving wide to the outside now. Oakley, Carson, Speakman, Lamb, Oakley. Here comes Speakman to the roars of the crowd. They're not going to catch Julian. What a great run, Julian Oakley.
Julian Oakley's their national title. He pushed Nick Willis all the way to the line last year. This time, he made that bold move with about 4:50 to go. He controlled the race, went wide just to make sure that no one could get past him, and then just upped the ante. It was a 60-second second to last lap, and I'd love to know how fast that lap was, because we know how fast those boys behind him are. Eric Speakman and Hamish Carson, they couldn't catch him. The crowd roared, trying to just egg Eric on and make sure that he could get up over the line. Eric will go home with a silver medal. Hamish Carson, 6-time national champion, will take the bronze. But look at this from Julian Oakley. What awareness.
Great run as well, it's got to be said, by Liam Lamb, even though he got eaten up at the end. But Oakley, great work. Here comes Speakman. You just kind of thought as he was coming around whether there was this magnificent final hundy in it, but...
Tell you what, if it was a mile race and we had another 109 metres on the track, it could have been all on. But what a run from Julian Oakley, and I'm sure he'll be absolutely stoked with that national title. His season's sort of been a bit up and down. He hasn't been able to get all of the results that he would have liked, but to see him take that one away is absolutely delightful for Julian.
It's a very impressive performance. One, I'm sure, as you say, that will mean a heck of a lot to him.
And it is actually a big turnaround. I was just checking the results. So he was third at the ITM behind Hamish Carson and James Preston in that particular race. So he's peaked at the exact right time, and perhaps one of those athletes that was very thankful for another 3 weeks of training. And
see the medal ceremony there. That's for the 1,500 metres for the under-20s.
From the current crop of great middle distance runners to the future, really. James Harding. Write that name down and note him for the future.
Well, the dog seems to be enjoying a day out in the sun, and understandably so. Lovely to be over there on the embankment with the owners, as we see some of the other competitors continue in the senior men's javelin. Photos all around for Julian Oakley. Mum and Dad might be down there. So Oakley will now head away and get ready for a medal ceremony. As we look at some more of the action as the event starts to wind its way down. That man is Campbell Robb of Waikato Bay of Plenty in the javelin. So Campbell Robb on the runway. Begins. Throwing into a stiffish breeze. Javelin out round about the 50-metre mark. Legal throw as the white flag goes up from the officials back by the end of the runway. Waiting while they're going a bit old school with the tape measure. This is the final round of throws, so yeah, we've had a very enjoyable day. There is Ethan Walker out of Otago, one of 3 Otago throwers in the senior men's final. Michael Mitchell and Anton Schroeder, the other 2. Jared Neighbours out of Canterbury. Lucas Sarning. You just saw Campbell Robb competing in this particular event. Here is Walker. Which is that one nicely. That's a good throw. That's out over the 50-metre mark. Otago boys like that. High fives all around. Don Schroeder gets ready. You see the athletes now, the event nearing its conclusion. There's Ethan Walker. As we get a look at the distance coming around, and 55.60 for Ethan Walker. Goes over, quick chat with coach. So next on the runway is going to be Lucas San of Tasman.
So Ethan's got a best of 59.74, which was set last year.
Here comes Luke.
Yeah,
I love that technique.
Interesting approach. Changes the grip just a couple of steps away from the line.
That's awesome. Never seen that before. Yeah, I'll keep that up. That's magnificent. Whatever works, young man. I am not laughing at him. I've just never seen that before. I think that is great. That is absolutely great. I rate that.
Amazing. Brilliant. It's almost like the hand change of the baton when you're doing the relays.
Oh, we've
swapping over hands.
We've seen cricket players
Risky
who'll run up,
business.
they'll hold the ball in the left hand, then at the last minute switch it to the right hand, or vice versa.
Or the batsman standing one way, switching to lefty. Or
Wow, yes, in the 2020 game that does happen. Here is Anton Schroeder out of Otago. It's a nice flight
that's
of that
good.
one there.
Well over 50.
Into that breeze.
So, yeah, Anton's another one up into those high 50s when he's been at his best, 57.51.
So he just they're starting a wee bit down the arc and then coming back in a little bit on the arm. So some of the preparations for some of the relay events that are going to be coming. There's Michael Mitchell, the third of the Otago representatives. Heads to his mark on the javelin runway. It was interesting, earlier this morning they were actually throwing from the other direction, but switching round and throwing back up into the breeze this time. Here is Michael Mitchell. Yeah, working down the right-hand side. Justin stays inside the throwing sector. So, again, it's around that 50-metre mark. Looking from behind. Lisa's going straight down that right-hand side. You can see, is it? Yes, it does.
Stay in.
Great camera work there by the Stream Shop crew. Here is Jared Neighbours, one of these multi-eventers, a decathlete, young decathlete. He's had a busy old time with high jumps and pole vaults and shot puts and discus, and so we'll be able to take one of the relay events. Here is Jared Neighbours. Throw. Again, all throwing consistently around that 50-metre mark. Good height, although he doesn't like it because he's fouled it out. So red flag goes up, so they won't have to worry about measuring that particular throw. So we go back through the rotation once again. No Ben Langton Bennell, based in the Waikato, represents Manawatu Wanganui. Of course, family still there in Manawatu. So it's Neighbours, Mitchell, Schroeder, Walker, Hassan and Rob. And this is Campbell Rob. You see the medics in behind there. So many people it takes to make a national championships. Here is Campbell Rob. That one a little bit high in terms of the trajectory that he wants to get it thrown on. It's good. White flag. You see the officials spring into life. So we will see a 4x400 metre under 20 relay coming up very shortly. Campbell Rob there. It's Michael Mitchell just working on technique. The little things, the little execution. Ethan Walker makes his way back. As things are starting to wind down here for the Jennian Homes New Zealand Track and Field Championships of 2021. It's great to have Jennian Homes sponsoring, long-time sponsor. Just well to have to say as well, Kennedy Park also have been great supporters of this particular event. There you see Walker, that's a good lower trajectory, piercing through that breeze.
Yeah, and all the city councils as well, Napier and Hastings and the regional Hawke's Bay Council, helping to make this event happen. We really appreciate it. We know Hawke's Bay's been affected with the lockdowns, the Art Deco Festival being cancelled, and yeah, so it's great to be able to bring this event to the Hawke's Bay, and I believe we will be back here next year, as we typically go 2 years at one location for the national champs, and they are under starters orders for the 4x4. This is the women's under 20 4x4, just 3 teams, Waikato Bay of Plenty running in lane 2, then in lane 3 Auckland, and lane 4 Canterbury. So it's the big centres going head to head.
As they work their way down the back straight for the first of 4 times, they will run in their lanes for the first 500 metres, so the first baton change will take place in the lanes that they are running, as we see Luke Hassan, that wonderful style. So Auckland at the moment with the advantage from Waikato Bay of Plenty, but Waikato Bay of Plenty now coming up through on the inside. Taylor Brunger is going to get the baton. So this is a big, massive team event now. A nice little pushback again from Auckland, but this really is the big team event to finish, because you will see 200 metres, you'll see 400 metre runners, you'll see 800 metres runners, you may even see the odd 1500 metre runner that's been pulled in.
Absolutely. So they stay in their lanes as they come to the 800 metre merge line. They'll hit those cones and then come in and run in lanes. So it is Taylor Brunger who's got out nice and strong to pull this Waikato Bay of Plenty team away. And she'll have some tired legs on her. Let's see how she goes the last 200 metres of this championship for her. Can she maintain this good solid lead that they've opened up over Auckland?
Well, they've got a really healthy advantage, at least 20-25 metres, but as we know from these sort of events, sometimes it just takes one big lap from one athlete. But Waikato Bay of Plenty
and who
at
else?
the moment looking very comfortable.
Who else to get the baton for Canterbury as well?
Oh, of course. We knew she was coming. As Waikato Bay of Plenty make their way around the top bend, lady who's become a bit of a favourite of the skysportnext commentary team, Maddie Wilson. We joked that she might have to do a lap of the 4x100 metres for Canterbury, and she has delivered, because she is doing that at the moment. It's Waikato Bay of Plenty with the advantage, but there's a good leg in Auckland just closing ever so slightly down that back straight.
Charlie Miller, fresh off that 1500 metres. This is hard work, having to do the 4x4 immediately after, and I think it's Kimberly May who's eating up that ground in front of her, but it's probably 10 metres in closing, another 80 metres back to Canterbury. But Charlie Miller's hanging on. She's looking pretty good. Kimberly May doing her best to come back as they come through for the bell lap. 2:57 on the clock for Waikato Bay of Plenty.
So they've got the advantage at the moment, but here comes Auckland really pushing. And that gap is now down. There you can see it. Waikato Bay of Plenty with the advantage over Auckland. Canterbury quite distant in third spot.
Macy Hilton doing the chasing there from Auckland.
As they come up to 200 metres, whatever you've got left in the tank, you've got to empty it now. Looking very comfortable and relaxed, and now starting to extend around the top bend. So Waikato Bay of Plenty, they can ease down a little bit if they want to. Gee, the lungs, everything will be hurting after a big weekend of action here at the Hawke's Bay Regional Sports Park. Well, this is the under-20 4x400 metre women's relay. Waikato Bay of Plenty take it out from Auckland. And Canterbury, with a good strong final leg, they will take the bronze. They all are. There's quite a few of the athletes now starting to gather around as we come to an end. Near the end of the day, we've seen some fantastic performances.
We have the medal ceremony of the women's
See.
under-20 1500 metres, sponsored by Hawke's Bay Orthodontist, presented by Jason Stevenson.
As we start getting ready to depart here, seen another great day of action to back up what we saw yesterday, which was absolutely superb. We've seen some great performances once again, outstanding competitions. And Hayden Sherman, it took a bit to get it going. It had to be postponed and then shortened down a little bit, but once again we can see over the last 2 days New Zealand track and field is in a pretty healthy state, it's fair to say.
Yeah, seeing that women's triple jump competition this morning was a real highlight for me. And then Georgia Hull's hometown girl taking out the win in the 200 was pretty special as well.
This young lady on your screen with her performance as well, a blistering final lap to claim the 1500 metres title.
Those 1500 metres were absolutely electric. And a really highlight for me. Also seeing just Julian Oakley come back to top form, to see Eric Speakman into second and Hamish Carson in third. But yeah, what a day. Another day in the sun, and what can I say? Athletics in New Zealand always produces so much entertainment, and well done to all those athletes. And before we sign off, I have to do a big shout out to all the volunteers. We have a small army of volunteers that make this happen, come from all over the country, and also a big shout out to the coaches, the team managers, the parents the partners who all make this event happen. We couldn't do it without you, and we couldn't do it without you guys tuning in and watching it from home. Be sure to hit that subscribe button on the skysportnext channel. Get those notifications so you can stay tuned to all the coverage that we'll have.
We look forward to doing this again next year. Thank you for your coverage of the Jennian Holmes New Zealand Track and Field Championships of 2021. Our thanks as well to the Stream Shop for their outstanding production and pictures. On behalf of the crew that has brought you the last 2 days of action, Nigel Yolden wishing you a very good afternoon. Mate wa.
Mm-hmm.